Shoot, that didn't work. Anyway, I'm live on here. I'm waiting to see if somebody comes in. See what happens. Told them I'd be on here. See, I'm just gonna try it out, see if she can come in here. I don't know. I'll give it. Somebody was going to come in here, and I wanted to see if they were going to come in, but maybe they will. I don't know. I'm just going to wait and see. Somebody I met through another whatever, and she was going to come in. Well, I don't know how to get in touch with her, so other than here and the instant messenger, but she can't do the instant messenger because she's got a boyfriend. So, and she don't want her boyfriend to see she's talking to another guy. She sounds like your buddy here is running. No, that is what's running is the oven. It's a 2-hour timer though. Now I'm not going to run the buddy heater because I don't want to clog it up. I want to wait until I have the filter, but it's not physically on board here. It's the owner of the people that work here at the RV Boss or Auto Boss RV, whatever. They have they just forgot to give it to me, So that sounds dangerous. A woman with a it is kind of. You're right. It's You know what? I've had this happen before. This gal liked me a lot, and she wanted to go out with me, and so I did go out with her. But I didn't. She never told me she had a husband, right? She didn't tell me she was married. She never told me that, because if she'd have told me that, then it probably would have ruined everything, But she was trying to get a divorce from her husband, and he wouldn't give her he wouldn't give her a divorce. And I probably would have married that girl, seriously. But then she broke it off because the fact that she wanted to still see me with her husband around before she was divorced. I said, I'll tell you what, we could talk, aside from physically getting together, and we could do that, because he found out about me and he wanted to kill me. And, he said, that's my wife, man. You can't. I go, she didn't tell me. I told him, she never told me that she was married to you, okay? He was a dangerous guy, too. Very dangerous. Very jealous, too. You know what guys can get, man. It's their property, Does anybody own anybody? Not really. No, not really. But, that was when I was like 32 years old. I would have... She was like the perfect girl, man. I'm telling you, man. How I met her is it was through a work event, and she happened to be at this work event too, and she saw me, and she told one of my other workers that I worked with, told him, and he came over and told me that here's a message from her. Here's her number. She wants you to get with her tonight. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll do it. So I did. It was a gamble, right? But it was a gamble I lost with, because she said, she goes, you know what? She goes, I don't want to do this. I'm just going to break it off with you then, if you won't see me physically. And I'm like, well, yeah. What her husband, what your husband asked, the questions he threw at me? He wanted to know how many times I slept with you in his bed, okay? And I couldn't tell him that. He knew the answer, right? He knew the answer. I'm like, dude, you couldn't count how many times, okay? I slept with your wife, okay? It was that many times. I mean, I slept with her all the time. Shoot. Heck, I was staying at her apartment, I had my place, but when I met her, I ended up, after the first date, you know, I got lucky on the first date. And she said, no guy ever got lucky with her on the first date, but me. She goes, how did you do it? I said, I don't know how well. I don't know. Lucky guess. Lucky guess. It was something to do with her ears. I played with her ears. Imagine that. You play with the girl's ears, and it turns on the green light, you know. But anyway, you know what? She loved me, you know. She really did like me a lot, you know. But, you know, one of those things, you know. One of those things. I didn't want to lose her, you know. I thought, you know what? Let's just you know my number is, okay? You just give me a call and we'll take it from there. But she didn't want to do that. So I thought, okay, maybe it wasn't meant to be then. Maybe I had to push a little further with it, you know what I'm saying? Even though she said, and I should have just given her a call the next day. And I just, I was young. I was like 32. Knowing what I know now today, I would have never done that. I probably would have still tried to hook up with her, but some way I would have had to somehow meet her somewhere without, going to her place, or I happened to be his place too, But he committed a crime against her. He physically assaulted her and got arrested for it. So, but anyway, he knew he figured he knew everything about me. He knew where I was born. He knew everything. That was scary. He knew my Social Security number. How'd he get that, How'd he get that? How'd he get I don't know how he got this stuff, but he's a crazy guy, man. Freaking nuts, man. He was a very intelligent guy, though. I could tell that. I'll bet after that you've... No, I never did. I never went out with anybody after that. I was afraid. I was afraid to go out with anybody, really. I was just I thought the danger of it all. I thought, geez, this is crazy. What about the next guy? Maybe I don't live. Maybe I get killed, in the event, But he called up and said he had a knife to her throat. She said he did have a knife to her throat after I spoke to her about the incident, and I'm like, wow. But, it couldn't have made him happy. He lost out to another guy, He lost out to me, and so evidently, I don't know, maybe he was so possessive. Maybe, I don't know. I never did get to know the whole story behind it all because she never told me. So had I known, but you live and learn, live and learn. You learn by your mistakes. Like I said, I didn't make a mistake. You know what? If I'd have known she was married, I would have never done what I did. I would have never, believe me, I wouldn't have wanted that to happen to me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have wanted it to happen to me. I was kind of hoping there's another girl I met on this other thing, just out of the blink of an eye, and she's trying to hook up and she's got a boyfriend. Okay. So she's afraid. So I said, well, why don't you just come into my live YouTube channel? I got a live YouTube channel. Well, not live, but I'll go live. And you could just come in here, just go under the name that you gave me, and just use that number, and say your name's Jesse or whatever, and and blah blah blah, and then I'll know it's you. But evidently, well, and like I said, I left another email to hers and stating that I couldn't get into her platform because I didn't pay for it, because I couldn't. Because I had to get a new bank card. So, by the time I joined that thing, I'm waiting 10 days on the bank card. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. And this girl's, I don't know. She wanted to meet me. So I said, I'll meet you somewhere, if you want to meet me, at a restaurant, and, just make sure you're not getting followed by anybody, That's... Last thing I need is all the crazy stuff going on in this world. This world's gone freaking nuts in the last 10 years or, whatever, with, guys, girls getting freaking, it's freaking crazy. guys shooting other guys. I mean, you hear about it every day on the news. What we got here, Dixie? Babe, why are you? Why am I not married? Good question. Probably because after I was 32, I never saw anybody. I never tried to date. I was afraid after I met that one gal and I dated her, and then her husband found out about me, and she never told me about her husband. He wanted to kill me, you know. I was like, shoot, I don't have no doubt he was gonna. Heck, he had a knife to his freaking wife's throat. Why not, you know? I mean, what would he do to me? You know, I mean, what's after the knife? What comes after the knife? A freaking gun? You know, and then he just find, you know, he knows where I'm at, and he knew where I worked, so he could have easily came into the parking lot and just gunned me down, you know. But who knows? I mean, I thought about all that, and I thought, this is freaking insane. What am I, you know, the only thing I told that gal, I said, Lisa, you know what? Here's what, you know, I'll give it some time, man. Let your divorce go through. I'll talk to you on the phone. You know, I'll, you know, communicate that way. But physically, I mean, I definitely not going to sleep with you anymore. I mean, not that I never will. It's just over these circumstances, we can't sleep with each other, okay? We cannot. I mean, where are we going to go? To a motel? I mean, I can't even risk it, you know? She goes, oh, I really loved you. I really, that first night was everything, you know. And I was like, well, I know. I mean, I dated you for what, almost a year before this guy came into play, her husband. So, and you know, I would have married her, but like I said, after that, I just wouldn't gamble with it, you know. But that's why, you know, and I dated other girls, not that much. You know, I was busy. I was working as a process engineer, as a technical guy. You know, I worked 12-hour days. I worked sometimes 6 days a week. You know, you go home, you barely have time to make something to eat, if you have the energy, and then you go to sleep, and then you go do it again the next day. You know, this is one of those things. You know, but anyway, it is what it is. Cracker Barrel. What a place. Cracker Barrel. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that for sure. I mean, Dixie Babe, I mean, what do you think? I mean, does it sound like, I mean, you look at me, I mean, these are with me without my glasses on, but then again, these glasses are just reading glasses. It's just so I can read the print on here, you know. It's the only reason I wear these, but other than that, I wouldn't wear them. But I mean, what do you think about me? I mean, you're looking at me right here on live video. But I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just a Christian guy, single, and you know, during that, you know, I thought I was, you know, when I was with this gal, I thought, you know, she was cooking dinners for me, and shoot, we had some good times, man. I mean, I really loved. You know, for about the first week, I mean, I had to really give it some time. I really get to know her, you know, and I did get to know her. I fell in love with the girl. She was everything, you know, and you know, and it became all or nothing, you know, when her husband, not that guy, her husband was, you know, but then again, she was trying to get a divorce, and every time she went to have him served, he wouldn't accept the pay. You know, he knew he's not stupid, you know. He's not going to sign anything, you know. You don't have to sign. All they got to do is all they physically have to do nowadays, they just hand the paper, just a piece of paper. And once you don't know what that paper is, it could be a cop, and the cop hands you the paper, and he's just a messenger boy, you know. He gives you the paper, and that's it. Once you don't sign anything. But he couldn't even. I mean, she couldn't even get him to do that. So, who knows? I think about her all the time. You know, I think, well, occasionally I think, you know, well, God, too bad I can't remember her last name. It's been so many years. My memory's not nearly the same as what it was. I mean, there were people that I worked with. I mean, I could maybe go back, but I doubt these people are alive anymore, you know, because they were 15, 20 years older than me when I was working there. So, I was working with engineers. I was an engineer myself, so worked on building injection molds. I built injection molds. $1 million+ molds. Each mold cost over $1 million to build. For some of these companies. It's all a lot of it's pharmaceutical. Medical grade stuff. You go in the hospital, all the IV lines and stuff, and shoot, I had all those lines going into my arms and stuff, and that's stuff I used to make. Shoot, I used to repair them. We did mold repairs, so I did a lot of repair work. Made ejector pins, drilled water lines, all kinds of stuff. And read the blueprints and all that kind of stuff. Had to be able to. You got to really visualize. That's what the blueprints for. Got to know what you're doing. Sometimes you make mistakes too. Believe me, I made a couple myself. I made a $100,000 mistake one day. Working on the mold. I forgot to put the springs in the mold after I just finished working on that damn thing for like 2 weeks. And I built new parts for it, that inserts to go into the injection mold, and I screwed it up. I forgot to put the springs in there. When they took the damn mold out to the press, they ran it, and that freaking slammed the parting lines together and ruined the freaking parts that I worked so hard for 2 weeks just to get that thing done. But I don't forget those days. No, I don't. But I don't miss those days either. I like it the way I have it, But, working the 12-hour shifts. But, so, it wasn't so bad. You had 4 days off in 3 days. But sometimes it wasn't 4 and 3. So it always turned out to be you're working 6 days out of 7, Sometimes 7. Sometimes, the boss got a camping cot. Freaking just let me sleep in the freaking right at the place, because what did I do? I worked, I lived about 35 miles away from the place, and through going through heavy traffic and freeway drive in the Phoenix area. So I was like, man, this is insane. This is horrible, and that's why the boss said, well, I'll just get you a camping cot. Stay here for a couple weeks, I'm like, you got a bathroom here? They had a shower there too. So they had all that there, and I'm like, I don't know. But, I did it. Those were the good old days, not really, but, I was 32 years old. I was looking the next 32, looking at another 22 years of physically going to work, and working for an engineering firm. And then I went and worked for a different engineering firm, and worked for those guys only because I knew the two owners, because I worked with them at a previous place. And they became their own owners and opened up a whole shop and the whole 9 yards, and millions and millions and zillions of dollars, It's until death do us part every day. Or are you on deathbed asking for a friend? Death? No, I'm not on a deathbed. No. I got paralyzed in my feet, but besides that, I'm capable of anything else. Still good to go. I don't have any other health issues relating to anything else besides that. But besides, now I'm a YouTube guy. What can I say? I only got 6 people. I didn't expect to get a lot of people. I kind of was hoping that one gal would have came in here. Let's see. What kind of rig you in? What kind of rig? It's a Winnebago. It's a Winnebago Class C. Class C Winnebago. 21-footer. A Mini Winnie 300 is what it is. Mini Winnie 300, 95. I did put a new motor in this thing about, 2 years ago? So, this thing runs great. Everything's been replaced. Everything on the motor's all been redone. And, so, yeah. Physically, it needs a lot of help. Especially in the interior needs a little, it needs some paint. And, what else could I do? There's a few things I could do. And it, took out the couch and put another bed on this side. And that's what I'm laying on now. And then the other side's too small because I'm too tall. almost 5'10". You got to be 5'7" to be able to sleep on that other section there. But no, everything else. Everything else is going okay. I'm gonna, I need to get the filter for the buddy heater. I'm not running the buddy heater. I'm running the oven right now for the heater. I don't have any other. I do have the Wave 3, but I don't have enough propane in this rig. I've only got like one bar, so that doesn't give me much propane, and I'd rather be able to cook in here. I knew I do have, I got the oven. Let's see, what else do I got? What do I have? The oven and then the 3-burner top stove or whatever, flat plate stove or whatever you want to call it. But that runs on propane, so that came with this thing, and so I don't have enough propane, and so I'm just, like I said, I cook a lot on, and I warm up water and, make, soups and stuff like that. So anyway, I gotta wait till Monday. Monday I'll get some propane in here, fill it up, and fill up the water about 15. I'll put 15 gallons in the fresh water. I'll have these guys here do that, and then what else do I need to do? I think I'll pick up a couple food items. I'll have Instacart. I order Instacart here, so I'll get Instacart. I'll just go on Fry's grocery app, and I'll just buy the stuff I need. I'll get some corn tortillas. What else? Some cheese. Got 6 pounds of ground beef. What else I got? Had a frozen pizza today, so I made that in the oven. So that was my dinner. Davey is paralyzed, but other than that, other than being my feet being paralyzed, everything else works. Everything else is good. I wouldn't say it's working perfect. But not like when you're in your early 30s and 20s. Your parts work a little better. A lot better, actually. I could still do what I got to do, but it's a lot of extra to do it. So, but besides that, everything else I'm good with, So, let's see who else I got in here. Trying to see who else I had. Dixie Babe. Are you new? I forgot to ask Dixie Babe if she's new in here. Dixie Babe, are you married? Oh. What questions I ask, Are you married? Are you available? It'd be, the best thing for me, if I was going to meet somebody, is try to meet somebody from YouTube, like somebody, like another lady that's an RVer, some that leads a life like I do, because you look at the way life is these days, and, the cost of everything, and, apartments, and cost too much, man. I ran out of I had all this I had a lot of money saved up, and I went through it all in about 10 years. I went through all my savings and 401k and IRA, and with my medical stuff and everything. I wiped it out, man. Wiped it out quick. But oh well, at least, hey, I'm disabled. I'm on disability, so I'm good. Got enough money just barely to survive, So that's the scoop right now. See, but you will have to. Well, I can wash my own feet. I wash my own feet. I have a spray bottle. I actually use a spray bottle because I don't, everything, I got too much stuff in the shower, and besides, I don't, anyway, the water goes way too fast, and out of these things, So yeah, I get a pan, and I warm up the water and put soap in it, soap on the rag, and I clean myself better than probably, out of the shower, actually, I think. Watch a video on George Carlin on I can't even say the word, cleanliness. And you'll laugh. It's funny as hell, but he tells the truth, man. Truth like nobody. And of course, George Carlin could cover. He could cover. I mean, he covered every subject you could ever think of. To me, in my eyes, he was the best comedian ever. George Carlin. Yeah. I mean, I go in there and I listen to his stuff occasionally, and he can cover, like I said, he'll cover anything from taking showers to cleaning up to washing dishes and talking about the political scape of the country, and look what's going to happen. The next election is going to be the same. It's going to be a re-election of 2020. It's going to end up being Donald Trump versus Biden, and nobody wants Trump back. They don't. They're trying everything in their power to keep him from being the president again. He's dangerous for the country. He's already threatened to dismantle the Constitution. That's what he said. He means it. He doesn't fart around when you're getting down to courtside. I have to wait. I got to get that filter for the buddy heater, and what else? And a carbon monoxide detector. That's it. So I got to make sure. First of all, I'm hoping the guy ordered it, because I told him to order that the monoxide detector. I have one in here. It's called a CoStar, but I don't know if it runs on battery. I can't. Back when I could stand on my 2 feet, I could actually. Well, if I had a stand-up ladder, which I do have, but I have 2 ladders in here actually. Yes, Davey. If you don't ask, you never know, right? So you ask questions. See, that's one thing I've learned. Ask questions. I mean, when I met Lisa, I didn't ask. I just trusted her. Okay, I trusted her. So, and she let me know that right off the bat she couldn't be trusted. So that was a bad thing, and I told her, I said, I trusted you with everything, and look what happened here. I mean, this is bad. This is it makes me look worse, because it makes me look like I just did what I did with you, and makes it look really bad. So I told her that, and she didn't care. She didn't care. She goes, I don't want him anymore. I don't want that. I don't want my husband anymore. Well, it doesn't matter what you want. It's what you have. It's what you have facing you right now. You're currently still married, and I don't know. I just wanted to do it the right way, and married for 26 years. Husband is on his deathbed looking for a new. His husband. Wait a second. Wait. Let me think. Let me read this. 26 years. Husband is on his deathbed looking for a new husband. Wait, so he's switching sexes? He's not. So he doesn't want to be with a woman. He wants to be with a man now. I mean, geez, come on. Make up your mind. Make up your mind, man. You should know this stuff before you get married to somebody that you're not going to want to be with for the rest of your life. I mean, it's death do you part, right? Yeah, like. I think that's what your vows state, Death do you part. Sometimes you have to remember this stuff. Hold on a second here. Let me read this. I'm not married for 26 years. So, husband is on his deathbed looking, whatever. Doesn't matter. Death do you, well, it means the same to anybody that would be married, but nowadays people don't get married anymore. Some people don't believe in it, But if you want to look at the other side of the coin, think, you're sinning. That's a big sin, man. Especially if you have sex with, like I did. I had sex with somebody that was married. That's a big no-no, man. When you're a religious guy, that's a big no-no. But I didn't know. I mean, hey, she didn't tell me that part of the story. So what can I say? It's funny because I was on here earlier, but I wasn't on here. I wasn't on here. I'm gonna put it this way. I've never done. Maybe I have. I just don't remember that I've done 2 videos in the same day. But I thought I'd try to see if that gal would come in here, and I'd try to communicate somehow, some way with her that, how we can. Because I told her I was going to go to Quartzsite. Let's see, Street Life. I was going to go to Quartzsite, and before I do all that, I got to make sure everything's good to go. I want to make sure I'm stocked up. I just want to make sure I got most of the food items, but I want to get a few other things. And I got, butter's a key thing, vegetable oil's a big key thing for me, but dry goods is even better. You want to try to stick with some dry goods and maybe a few canned goods too when you're on the road. That way you don't. I'm just thinking I need get some. I need to get milk, but somehow in a form that you don't have to refrigerate it. So maybe condensed milk. I don't know. Don't know how good that is. I've never tried it. So maybe I will. I don't know. Just then again, it's one of those things. It's so let me think here. Her husband is on. She's looking for a new man. Okay, I asked her if she was married. She said she was married. I mean, she could also say, okay, if her husband died, then she would be a widow. And she's widowed then, But, so you're open for dating then, huh, Dixie Babe? I'm just wondering if you're open for dating. Or are you currently dating? I don't know. Do you have a current boyfriend? I don't know these things. That's why you have to ask questions. And you gotta, hey, are you waiting for a divorce? Or it could be a number of things, Where is the best place for dental across the border? Probably Alagonas. Alagonas would be your best bet. I need dental work too, and I've been out, and I got a chipped tooth in a decade, so I gotta get this tooth capped. I got the tooth. Actually, I'm gonna cap two front teeth, the 2 very first teeth. I got to cap, but besides that, I'm pretty. I know I'm gonna have 2 other teeth replaced too, but it's not in a big hurry. They're in the back, so not a visual thing there. But let's see. Dollar Tree's got milk, no refrigerator needed till you open. Huh. God, what? I never knew that. Dollar Tree's a hard place for me to shop. Reason why is because I'm, my feet, obviously, being paralyzed or not being able to move my feet, other than, I'm on their own. I'd have to. Yeah, getting a shopping cart's out of the question, so I'd have to figure out a way to be able to. I mean, I can go in there with a walker, yeah. I guess I could do that. I mean, I do have a walker with the brakes, with the 4 wheels, I guess. And it's got a seat on it, so I guess technically I could do it. I could go in there. I could only pick up a couple items, maybe a few. I got a little seat basket. I could just put the milk in there and maybe pick up a couple. I could actually buy some canned goods too. Maybe 6 cans of something or whatever. 6 cans of corn or, beans, whatever. Refried beans, whatever it may be. Just something to look. I got some ideas to make some quick, easy, fast meals, ground beef, corn tortillas. Let's see, cilantro. You mix the cilantro. 1 batch of cilantro for 1 pound of ground beef and corn tortillas, and you make a taco casserole, or you can make your own tacos. It's a little bit more work. Oh, it's $1.25 now at Dollar Tree. That's not bad. I should get that. Because I could, put that in coffee. It'd taste better. Yeah, coffee would never. Yeah, like I said, once I open it, then I got to refrigerate it. That's the problem. because my refrigerator doesn't hold much. I've got the Iceco 12-volt refrigerator, so that's a big problem. If I had a working normal size refrigerator, that I had a fire in here and it ruined the fire was created by the refrigerator in here. So, but anyway, I mean, if I got some solar batteries, like what am I talking about? Right now, I've got AGMs, and those are for solar too. But they're good for about 4 years. And lithium batteries, I'm looking at maybe getting a 200 amp hour lithium. But the guys here at this place, RV place, they told me that it wouldn't run a residential refrigerator. So you could make a meal from the dollar. Yeah, I mean, that could. I mean, I got the walker with the 4 wheels with the brakes on it. Like I said, if I have to sit, I could do that. But I just have to make sure the items I'm getting will fit in the basket, and also the bags that they give you, I can make sure they triple bag it so I can put the bags of stuff on the handlebars of the walker, and I could do it that way too. Dollar Tree Delights, yeah. They got a lot of snack stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I know. I'm back on here again, huh? I thought I would get somebody in here, but yeah, a lot of people stay up late. I generally stay up till like 1 o'clock in the morning, but it's almost there right now. Let's see, but yeah, got a couple ladies in here. I think. What Street Life? You're a lady, right? I think you're a lady. I believe you are. Sometimes people aren't who they really are, when they come into these platforms, Let's see, the bread trucker. Yeah, the bread trucker. Yeah, he knows me. I mean, I never physically met. I talked to him a lot on. I chatted with him. He's a cool guy. He's one of the. Now he's probably one of the biggest YouTube guys out there, and he's approachable. You can go up to him, and he's friendly as hell, man. He'll talk you down a storm. He's that kind of guy. He's a good guy. And yeah, I like Paul. Paul's straight up. He's not like, but he gets along with like the what do you call that group? The tribe. Who is the tribe anyway? It's basically the real tribe is basically Dave's RV Life with the Destination Open Road and Aja, and those three, and probably the girl Colleen. Yeah, she's been following that with that group. She's been with them from what 6 years ago. 6 years ago. So yeah, I'll never forget Colleen. Never forget her in my life. I was at the campfire with the tribe members, Randy, the mobile traveler, myself, and a bunch. And the tribe was a little apprehensive about me. They were not so sure on me. They thought what somebody was telling them, as they were basically, there was a girl. I don't even know if I don't even want to mention her name on here. That's why it's hard for me to say. I'm just going to make it just what she said. Well, this gal told the tribe that I was spying or stalking them, And no, I don't know where this girl came with this stuff. I don't know why this stuff came out of her mouth, like it did, but it did. And she told them I was a stalker, and Mobile Traveler, Randy, he knew I was not that. I came in there because I knew another guy that was in there, and he told me, I pulled in there, he knew who I was. He says, hey, park over here. You could join our group, And it happened to be Butterfly Gypsy was in that stupid group, Some other lady was in there, too. I can't remember her name, but she was a nice lady, too. She was a camper, and let's see, you can make a meal from ketchup. I'm not a big fan of ketchup, except for maybe a tiny bit on a hamburger. I'm trying to think. Yeah, like Mexican food. I'm really good with making Mexican food. That's one thing. Gypsy almost ruined you. Well, how is she good? Well, she would have loved to ruin my life. Yeah, she tried to say that I improperly touched her or some sort. Yeah, right. I thought you were spying for Kim. No, I was no. That's funny. I was no spy for Camel Dave. Camel Dave talked to me quite a bit. Camel Dave didn't like me that well. And the Doxinator's another guy that, they know of me. They don't know much about me. They know very little about me. That's the thing. If they got to know me, like when I was sitting there talking to Randy, and Randy was cool. Randy knows me really well. I got to know Randy, and Randy knows RV Davey, knows the channel. And I'm good with Randy. I'm good that R.I.P. Camo Dave. Yeah, what's weird about that situation? Because what did I do? I spoke to him on phone. Or no, I was in his chat room, or his live stream, I should say. And during that live stream, he was bad-mouthing me so bad. He was ripping me a shred, right? Just shredding me to little itty-bitty pieces. After he did that same night, he died. He died from the heart attack or whatever. He got punished for that. I'm just going to say. Cabo Dave didn't like Davey. He refused. he talked to me on the phone. I talked to him on his talk line, I don't know how many times. And how many times I went into his channel under different names. He couldn't stop me. I was unstoppable. I guess you could call me the unstoppable RV Davey. Kind of like the unstoppable Morgan. I never spoke to, unstoppable Morgan. She's quite the chick, though. She's quite the catch, right? For nomadic living. I mean, she's pretty good at it. I mean, hell, she made a toilet in her driver's seat, so when she drives, she could just go to the bathroom. You wouldn't have to get up. She just go to the bathroom right there. She had a toilet right on. She cut a hole in the seat of her driver's seat. I don't know if you guys ever knew that. You guys should look into Unstoppable Morgan and see how she set up her bathroom situation. I wouldn't doubt if she was doing it the same way. Now my oven turned off, so now it's going to start getting cold in here. Gonna have to get back up. I'm gonna have to turn the oven back on. Oh, this sucks. I'm telling you, life sucks, and then you die. I should have been. I already died once and came back. So, yeah, I died, and I died. They found me and no pulse, and they got a pulse out of me. They resuscitated me and got me up and going again. After about, I think I was a month and a week in a coma. So. Here I am. What? I would have been dead. That would have been what? How many years ago? That would have been 2017. That happened 2017. So 17, 19, 20, 21. That's freaking 5 years ago. Yeah, I should have been dead for 5 years, basically. But I'm still here. Then I found out one of my other friends that I had that I knew from a long time ago, and he was married, and I just spoke to his, I can't say former, she's widowed, but anyway, she said she had 4 kids with him, and anyway, he passed away in 2017. Now she's got 4 kids, and, don't ask me. I asked her, hey, do you have any man in your life? She goes, no. So, I mean, I chat with her, I'm not gonna, go out with her or anything like that. But, I'm at least I could, I got her telephone number and I can call her and whatever, But, yeah, for poor Steve, man. I can't believe when I've been trying to get a hold of him for the longest time. Now I know why I couldn't, because he's been dead. How about that? That's really something to, look upon and look back in the past. The blast, the was it the blast from the past, whatever. You know, he was a great guitar player. I'm a guitar player too, but he was quite a bit better than I was on guitar. But I wasn't a bad guitar player myself. But I mean, you can go watch me on YouTube, and you can see let's see, you and Camp Gore One. What, you and Camp Gore One make up? How's that going to happen, Street Life? I just heard her out. Yeah, I don't see how that's ever going to happen. Now that lady's freaking. I'm going to tell you. I learned a lot about Camp Gore One. I hung out with Camp Gore One quite. Well, put it this way. That's funny. She was coming into my chat, into my live streams. That's how I met her. And then I physically met her somewhere. I can't remember where it was. But, yeah. Anyway, long story short, she ripped me off pretty well. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. So, I don't want no cop coming to serve me freaking papers anymore. That's a bunch of crap. But, she made all these lies up about me, but that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anymore. I've had enough. I think I just went and watched one of her videos. She had her pool completely redone. She must have a few bucks in her pocket, because she really does spend some money. She never spent none of it. That's funny. I took her out to 4 or 5 dinners, and he even bought her kids their dinner too. Her grown-up kids. She's got a son, and that's like 32. Her daughter, that's like 34. Another one's like 36 or 7. I'll take that as a no. No, that's a bad situation. Any guy that would get involved with her, it would be a bad situation. She's out of her mind. She really is. She's quite the crazy, I'll tell you. I mean, she'll say one thing and do another. She'll say another thing and do another. Everything she says she'll do or she says she's going to do, she never does, That's one thing I guess she decided to keep her house. I thought she was going to move to Prescott, Yeah, Prescott, Arizona, where, you're talking almost $1 million houses there, pretty much, just to start off. So she got money for $1 million house. Well, goody two shoes to her, man. But how old I think she's about. I'm going to say she's 63-ish, maybe 60. She was about Camo Dave's age. She really wanted Camo Dave. She liked that guy a lot. It's funny. So she has, and that I look at that picture, and I look at how Camo Dave looked, and that's what she was attracted to. She was attracted to Camo Dave. And I'm like, well, a bald-headed guy. Well, so am I. But, I think I had a little bit more hair than he had, but on my head, which is very little. But anyway, Camo Dave, I was shocked that she really, she said she loved the guy. She wanted to get in a relationship with him. I found that out through some other people. I'm like, wow. But now I know it. Now I know why, now I know what kind of guys she's interested in, You look at the gals, what they choose for their guy, and then you look at them and you're like, wow, how did that happen? Or how did this, you see a really good looking guy and he's not with such not the quite attractive looking wife, or girlfriend or whatever. And you look at that, like, how did that happen? You think a really good looking person would be with another good looking person, That's what you would think. But it wasn't. Sometimes looks aren't where it's at, man. Sometimes. Let's see, wackadoodle. Looks aren't where it's at. That's for sure. I thought Camo Dave had a boyfriend. Why was she wanting him? Good question. That's another thing I found out about Camo Dave was there was another side of him. that people didn't know. And if you looked into his little biography on himself, and you take a look back at that, and you're like, okay, it says under relationship, it said complicated. Yeah. You know, a funny thing about it, he had me under his Facebook friends, under Facebook friends. He had me friended there, and I didn't know that. See, I didn't go into his Facebook, but yeah, I was sitting there, one of his friends, and I'm trying to figure out how that happened, because, you know, I don't think I've ever friended him, you know, on Facebook, because, you know, I don't friend people, I don't friend anybody unless I make sure that who you're going to friend, make sure that they're really the people you're talking to, because get yourself in a world of hurt real quick. Let's see. Camo hit that Nomad chick. What Nomad chick? What did he hit? I don't know what. I mean, he had sex with some Nomad chick? He didn't. Let's see. He went to courtside just before he died. He went out there to courtside. It's a funny thing, because he had reservations to go back out to courtside and stay at Nomad, or stay at Aja's property. Yeah. He was going to stay with Aja. They were going to... See, I don't know how he was going to do that. So I guess he was going to stay in her old Panda mobile, I guess. You know, I don't know. That was, I guess that's their guest quarters there. But who knows? I can't see... I could never see Camo Dave camping. It just... for the life of me, I can't picture that, you know. See, I've been camping my whole entire life, ever since I was 16 years old. See, I knew when I was like 12 I'd be camping, you know, just because my dad was a big outdoors guy too. So that's how that all came about. And, you know, I always thought, you know, when I was camping in tents, someday I'll have an RV, you know, someday I'll get into an RV and I'll do that. But I didn't know I'd be doing it at the stage that I'm doing it at, you know. Didn't know. I do now, but I didn't. You never know. You never know what life's going to bring you, you know. You just never know. Sometimes it brings you, sometimes it doesn't bring you, you know, everything that you're looking for, you know. Or you might end up with just a little bit less than what you expected, you know. That's the way it's been my whole life. I've always ended up with just a little bit, not little bit, a lot less than what I expected, you know. I didn't expect things to turn out like they did, you know, but it did. So Camo Dave loved men in uniform. I don't know what kind of man he was looking for. I have no idea. But yeah, he was camo fetish. Camo fetish. That's funny. That's funny. You know, it's a shame he's gone, because it makes YouTubers' jobs harder now. You know, people like Camp Gore 1, she's struggling. She's struggling to get subscribers. She's still in the 500 range. She's been in the 500 range for, I think, I want to say 3 years, 2 to 3 years. So, I mean, she's gaining subscribers now. I don't know how she's doing it. I think I have an idea how she's doing it. But, you know, I think she's doing what I was doing. But I'm not doing, you know, I'm not going into the YouTube and, you know, and what you do is you create an account, and then you go back as your channel, and then you get that fake account to subscribe to my channel. Now I picked up about 30 that way, but then YouTube took them away. So all that time I spent making those accounts, it didn't pay off, you know. That's one way that I didn't achieve. I achieved way less than what I expected, because that is hard work. And I thought, no way, I'm not going to make these accounts. I got like 20 accounts now, and I just keep it at 20, and it's stayed there for all this, I don't know, two years now, whatever. Still there. He did run a website with men in uniform, but I don't think he was actually, you know, not sure if he was. I couldn't tell you that, and you're certainly not going to. Only his people that are the closest to him would know that. I think Camo Dave had a life partner. Yeah, I don't know what he had. I really don't. I couldn't answer it, but I went into a lot of his live streams, and I did what a lot of channels did. They tried to milk off of him a little bit. I tried to milk off of him and see if and he covered my channel for a little bit. At the very, very, very beginnings in like 2018, RTR or whatever, he covered my channel when I was out there. That was when I was a brand new channel. 2018, that's when RV Davey came to life, But RV Davey is a fixture here, but I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fixture by any means, but a lot of people know of me, They know the channel name for sure. The Tribe certainly does. And the Tribe they're some of the biggest, they're the biggest stars on YouTube. But they know of me. I mean, I've camped with, beside them. I didn't become friends with them. I think I never became friends with anybody from the Tribe. Now, who is it that I talked to? I'll tell you there's one Tribe member that I talk to on a regular basis, and that's Six String Steve. He's the one guy. Oh, and Paul Barger too. Paul Barger and Six String Steve. Those are the two. But Six String Steve, he certainly is the original Tribe group, or of the original group. And who else? So like I said, Six String, and I'm trying to think who the other one was. Paul Barger was never part of the actual Tribe. He never was. There's one guy named Greg Burris. He was, but he never had a YouTube channel, and I never could figure out why he never did, but he just never did. So probably because that was a way he could have made extra money. It was a way, but he just didn't do it. Let's see. You could grow a goatee and take up. You know what? Something I did that was really funny, and it's funny because I just recently did it. I went into Caravan Carolyn's live stream under the name of Camo Dave. Oh my God, that was so funny. Camo Dave is now, yeah, Blind View. Blind Views took up that spot. I wouldn't say he's doing the greatest job. He certainly made enemies with the Tribe. The Tribe members don't like him. I think Destination Open Road. Now, I met Destination Open Road. They seem like, I don't know. They came into, that's funny. They came into my campsite, and Scott's very handy. He's very helpful too. He was trying to help me put up a TV antenna. It was a funny thing. I was doing the stupidest thing. I was new. I was new to RVing, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just trying to do whatever I could do to get the antenna up. Little did I know that I should have just attached the damn thing on the ladder of the RV with just simple hose clamps. That would have taken care of it. What you do is make a telescopic, 3 pieces of PVC, and one interlaps, and then it goes up. Then all you do is drill a hole, and then you run a bolt through it, and then and then have the mount for the top for the antenna. That's what's just a regular TV antenna, and it worked really good. I had what was his name? Like I said, Scott helped me, but he wasn't sure what I really was trying to do other than put the antenna up. But I wasn't. Basically, Scott is very handy with everything. That guy's, it blows me away. I don't think there's anything he can't do. When it comes to automotive or, the guy's brilliant. He could build a house from ground up, and that's pretty impressive. I was impressed with Scott when I first met him, and Terry was not the friendliest, I would say. But Scott was. Scott was a guy he's a lot like me. He's a sports guy. He liked watching sports. he was just your all around everything. I just watched their last video. They went bowling, and I thought, well, that's something they never did, and it surprised me to see, Scott and those guys. But it had to have been his idea, because believe me, I don't think any of the other tribe members would have gone bowling. No way, not in a million years. But that had to come from Scott. Scott's just trying to find new ways and better ways of doing different things with their videos. They're trying to improve their what do you call it? Their circle. They're basically covering they're just trying a wide range of things to make video, because it gets boring when you watch just sitting on a chair and cooking on a grill. I mean, everybody does that, right? See, Scott helps out Aja a lot with different I'm sure he does. He helps anybody he can help, really. I mean, he helped Paul Barger, build a shed on his property, and he helped me with my antenna. He did that. So he's helped. I mean, he's helped a handful. I mean, not just a handful. And I'll tell you another guy that really is very helpful to people is Randy, the mobile traveler. What I'm looking for, I want to find somebody at Quartzsite that can put a diesel heater in my RV, so I can have a different type of heater, other than just the whatever, because the diesel heater they give you a two gallon plastic piece or whatever that you put the diesel fuel in, and then you run the diesel heater underneath. The problem with it is that it takes a lot to run that thing, That's the problem, You got to run, like I said, you got to carry diesel fuel on hand too, what's a gallon of diesel fuel now? About $5? I haven't even looked at the price of gas. I know I got to fill up before I leave here. I'm in Apache Junction, so Apache Junction, Arizona. I've been in another YouTube channel called The Other Me channel, and he's out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and he does he does a lot of. He's a live streamer. He just goes on the Strip and Fremont Street, and he does the Fremont Street thing every day or every other day or whatever. And he's pretty cool. He's a straight up shooter too, But him, and there's another guy that's a really stuck up guy. He's thinks he's all that and more. Trying to think of his channel. Oh, Cash and Crash. Cash and Crash. He won't even talk to me. And he's he got upset with me. I dropped his subscribe from his channel. He got pissed off about it, But I don't know. He's got some stuck up his ass or something. Who knows? I don't really care. But the other guy, the other me, his name's Mark. He's cool as hell, man. He'll tell you everything about Vegas, where to go, where to park. If you need to park your RV somewhere and you're coming from somewhere else, he'll certainly tell you where to go. Let's see, Aja. Let's see, sucked in a lot of people to build her property. Yeah, it's just you know why they do it, don't you? They suck up because of her, Let's see, you miss Doglips? Yeah, Doglips. Yeah, he's a missed guy. Yeah, he coming. I know he passed away. He barely lived after he got out of jail. He was in jail for such a long time, and then right after that, he just, I don't know. It's weird. He just, gone. Passed away. Seems kind of weird. Everybody thought, R.V. Davey, he's dying. He's gonna be dead. He's dying this time, and blah blah blah. All the things that they were saying. R.V. Davies dead, that went out. I mean, I heard a lot of that from different, there's bunch of different crowds on YouTube, not just, the Aja tribe group. They're one group, and then there's another group, there's different groups, and I just fall under a different classification for groups. I'm a live streamer now that before I got my feet paralyzed, heck, I can't imagine all the videos I could have done. Being holding a camera is a difficult thing unless I have a scooter that's like off-road type scooter, and I make a mechanism, put a basket on there, and I can even put a TV into. I can even put solar panels on the damn thing. But hell, that's just too much. But I could do it. But I mean, I could do a video like that. Just making a solar mobile out of a paralyzed man's scooter. I suppose that would do pretty good. Let's see the wrong hobo died, I guess. Which hobo? Who's the other hobo? There used to be a channel called the Hobo something. I can't come to think of who they were. I ran into so many people since I've been out and about. I ran into quite a few people at Craggy Wash in Lake Havasu City last year. I broke down and I went over a rock and messed up my exhaust system and I couldn't fix it. I tried to hire a guy right there in Craggy Wash or Lake Havasu City, and heck, I couldn't find anybody. I had to get somebody else to do it, and now the guy's telling me I never paid him for it. That pisses me off. Well, I did that. I go, well, shoot, you got paid. You asked me what you wanted to charge me, and I paid you. I went to the bank. We took care of it. And he said, oh, I don't remember that. I go, yeah, you better remember, because we went to the bank, and I let you use my card to swipe at the machine to get your cash, and we counted the cash out, because you picked the cash out of the machine yourself, guy. So don't ask me. So anyway, I'm not even gonna go there with him. So he said, oh, you got some medications here. I go, dude, I'm not gonna be going that direction. I'm down. I'm way south of the valley, and I'm right now where I'm sitting. I'm perfect. The 202 is just right at about a mile, basically a mile from here to the north, and then I just got to cut over the 202 to the 10. I'm out of here. I'm on the quartzsite. I hate that ride. I hate that road. The road's terrible. All the semi trucks that go by you, and they almost knock you off the road, pushing the wind going. You're sitting there that wind just shoving you all over the place, and oh man. Because I got to drive with one hand, and one hand's, because I ride with hand controls on my RV. That's how I ride in this thing, But it works. I just got to get up to speed and turn on the speed control. Yeah. See, we all thought you were dead years ago, but then, but it's like, yeah, Dixie babe, it's like somebody being dead and coming back alive, isn't it? It's like that is actually the truth too. I did actually die, physically die, but nobody knew about it, other than the hospital and the doctors that worked on me and the paramedic. The paramedic guy that saved my life. He found me dead. I mean, I was dead for like maybe 5-10 minutes, maybe, and he resuscitated me and got a pulse, and I think I went code blue 2 times to the hospital, and then another code blue 2 more times when I was in the coma. So, but each and every time I pulled out of it, on my own, my body just magically. The paramedic said, "Dude, you're a miracle. God, you're simply a miracle." It's the only thing I can say, because you were going in a body bag, from that spot we found you, which was the tavern on the creek, and I won't ever go back to that place again. That's a dangerous place. Unless you like playing with Hell's Angels, I don't recommend going there. Hell's Angels runs that place practically. So they used to run Steel Horse Saloon up in the North Phoenix area, but you got to remember one thing: North Phoenix is run by Hell's Angels big time. You really got to look out for that, because that is, they run some, bar, they obviously run Tavern on the Creek, even though the owner says who he is. And I met him because I went to school with him. He went to the same high school I went to. He was like a year under me, and I was like a year older than him. But yeah, he went same Chaparral High School in Scottsdale. Funny thing, he claims he owns the place, which I'm sure he does. But it seems as though Hell's Angels certainly has a stake there somewhere. Because that night I had a problem with Hell's Angels, and I wasn't real. I'm not gonna say too much about them, other than they didn't like the fact that I was parking my RV in the parking lot at that place for 3 days, and I said that's because the owner, Todd said I could stay here and work on my RV, the exhaust system. So he said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Well, I'm just telling you." And they go, "Well, then why are you sitting here by yourself then?" I go, "That's just the circumstances, guy." He goes, and I'm like, "Really?" So I just, they thought I was an informant. They thought I was a cop. And I'm like, "No, dude, I'm not a cop at all. I don't know why you think that. I think you're trying to figure something out here. I'm not trying to figure out anything. Okay, I just want to get the exhaust system fixed, and I'm out of here. I'm heading out of town. I'm not even going to be anywhere close to this place." So, but end up in the hospital and all the bad stuff after that. So, it is what it is. What's up, Joni? Street Life. Yes, it's funny. I got a big crowd here late tonight. And when they came on earlier, I could barely get 7-8 people in here. Funny thing. Funny things happen. Let's see, not the PO. The PO? What PO? The probation officer? I don't think any probation officer ever went there. Not that I know of. Maybe they did. Maybe you guys know more than I know. Let's see, spying again. I see. No, yeah, they were saying I'm, spying, whatever, stalking, whatever. Oh, I'm stalking the bar. Yeah, I know Todd. Yeah, I went to school with Todd. I told the two Hell's Angels guys. I said, yeah, I know the owner. Well, how do you know him? I go, because I know him. All right, I went to high school with him. We went to the same high school in Scottsdale, Arizona. That's where that came from, guy. So he goes. So anyway, they stole my bicycle, and I think that they obviously put a bullet in me, and it was a .45 caliber with a hollow points or whatever. And man, that took a lot of surgery to get that bullet out because it was all the metal pieces that were in all over my freaking spine. And so, yeah, that was lovely too. And that might have played a part in the way my feet are right now. Sure it did. The bullet ricocheted off of my spinal cord on the upper part of the spine, and put a lot of slivers in me. And yeah, they had to go back in, and I was having problems because a lot of those slivers were in my in the nerves, basically in the spine, and they had to go dig them out. And that took quite an operation to do that. They had to come in through the front part of my throat to get in there to get those slivers, the metal pieces. They had to use basically like a metal detector to pick up the metal in my body to dig up all those pieces that were in there. That was the doctor said they had a fun time with that. The surgeon did, at least. So I'm sorry. I went to a place and I shouldn't have gone there. I shouldn't even been there in the first place, really. But I needed a place to work on the exhaust system. I had 3 days. He gave me 3 days there, and I was only there. I was there one. I was there for 4 days. That's only because Chris didn't show up. So he was supposed to be there, and I told him, I said, Hell's Angels is here. You know that, don't you? He goes, yeah, I know. I go, how do you know? The motorcycles. I said, yeah, there you go. This is Hell's Angels, guy. You don't screw with these guys. I'm trying to get out of here. I don't want no problems with these guys. I just want to get in here and get out of here. Okay, let's get the work done so I don't have to mess with these guys because they don't like me here. Okay, for good reason. They don't trust me. Okay, they think I'm a cop. I'm not a cop. I told them. I said, well, we know how cops do these kind of things. I said, well, maybe they do, but I'm not one of them. Okay, I'm just going to get my exhaust system. You can talk to Todd. Todd will clear it up with you guys. If you guys are in some kind of partnerships with him, no big deal. No big deal on my end. I just trying to get something done and get out of here. It was cool. That was a nice little hangout where I can park, and camp out in there, But I see they've changed it up now. It's got a bunch of rental trucks and stuff there. He was trying to figure out another way to make money, and he figured it out. He got some kind of moving trucks and stuff in there, and somebody needed a place to park their trucks, and so now they're paying him. So I guess Hell's Angels can talk to those guys now. I guess, who knows? But Hell's Angels was, like I said, they ran the Shabam at Steel Horse Saloon at 19th Avenue and Bell Road, and that place went under, and then they put their tarp up in right there at the Tavern on the Creek, which is right on Cave Creek Road and Bell Road. So basically a little bit south of Bell, Cave Creek Road. That's their territory, man. Cave Creek Road fit the bill, man. Those guys cruise up and down Cave Creek Road is nothing but a motorcycle. It's basically a hog heaven for motorcycles on all the bars that are sitting alongside of, up and down Cave Creek Road. There's quite a few of them, But they like to go to bars, That's one thing they do. What happened to the land? Oh, I have it. Still have it. It's not sitting. It's not going anywhere. It's just, I'm just not getting anything done on it. That's all. It costs too much money, to, I had to spend money on other things, So, gas and food and everything in between, to get everything put together. So, let's see. You should start a GoFundMe for a scooter if Nomads can get a free RV with GoFundMe. Should be a breeze. See, yeah, and that girl wasn't the most popular either. Butterfly Gypsy. Not. Yeah, that girl's she tried to get me arrested, I don't know, 2-3 times. A lot of good that did, huh? A lot of good it did. Got her nowhere. Cops aren't going to do nothing to me. Shit, I don't break the law. They know I was barely alive. They've seen me in the hospitals. They see me in Flagstaff. They see me all over the place. But, but they knew I was not. They knew it happened because they ran an investigation. They still have an open investigation, but nobody's ever going to say anything. Nobody's going to. You just not. You just don't. You don't mess with those guys. You mess with those guys, and you'll see what will happen. It won't be good. I'll never forget when I talked to the guy that ran Steel Horse Saloon. Yeah, he got messed by one guy that was threatening me on my phone, and I showed him because he was posting stuff up about the bar there. And then that guy goes, "Well, they're messing with the wrong people." I guess, and I looked at the guy and I said, I ain't got nothing to say about that one. That quote, I'm not going to say anything. The guy goes, "It'd be in your best interest that you leave here. You know that." I said, yeah, I know it's in my best interest. I just came here to watch a couple bands play, and then I'm out of here, But he goes, no, I would leave here now. And I said, well, since you put it that way, I'm leaving. So thank you and thank you. I paid what, $10 to get in there, and then I didn't get my well, I guess I did. I got to see a couple bands play a little bit, and I didn't even get to see the one band that I wanted to see there, So, well, yeah, I had another friend that I knew that was a music guy that, I did stuff with a little bit, musically a little bit, John Kaysen. Yeah, I'm trying to think. He was in a lot of bands. He was in a band called Black or Angel Black. You check out the band. He's still got things up on there. I'm gonna have to look still, see if that band's still, because they lost him as a singer, and he wrote the music for those guys. And I don't know. I don't think they even do that project anymore. But they had a record deal, man. But I wouldn't say they were making good on it, but they at least had a record deal. And then he passed away about a year and a half ago. Yeah, he died at the age of 49. Yeah, that's another guy that I used to know. And the Phoenix area lost a good rock musician. He was the best. I'd say his band was, put it this way, every good band that was out there wanted him in it. So you knew he was good. His vocals are really good. You should check him out, Angel Black. Check out, let me think, try to think of the other, what was it called? Exiled. EXI, I think LLED. Check that under that spelling, EXILLED, Exiled. Check out that too. I mean, I didn't think that band had better. I thought Angel Black was his best project. I think, musically speaking, I would say for me, I thought Angel Black was, dead on, really good. I liked the music he did with that project, but the other ones, I mean, he was very good, very sharp musician, but his bandmates were really good, top notch. I mean, they were great musicians, great guitar players and drummer. I mean, they just had. I mean, he was working with another. I'm trying to think of the other band. He played with the German band too. I can't think of the name of that band, but I'm gonna have to look it up. And I'm kind of curious to see if they've moved on, if they're still a band, or if they moved on to another singer. Since John passed away. And he was going to get married. I met his future to be wife. I'm trying to think of her name, Diana. Yeah, her name was Diana. And anyway, she told me she was going to get married with him, and I think what killed him was COVID-19. Yeah, COVID-19 took him down. He got to the hospital too late. He wasn't going to take that shot. So, I mean, I took the shot. I took the COVID-19 or was it? I think I'm trying to think what I was taking. Trying to think of the heck, I can't remember the damn company that I took the shot from. There's so many. I think there's like 4 different ones that you can. Now there's probably even more, but now as it, it's come to pass, all these medications for the stuff, you still get it, So Donald Trump was the one that pushed that vaccine. He's the one that brought it in. I mean, he didn't invent it, he didn't make it, but he certainly had to do with getting that shot out there real quick, He worked on it pretty quickly to get it out, and be honest with you, let's see, be sure you get, the booster. See, that was all myth, all those lies that got spread about the shot. It kills you, and it doesn't kill you. I've been alive for 3 years now after that shot. It's such bullcrap. The stories people make up, all the all the misconceptions, especially with Donald Trump. Donald Trump really started a bunch of shit. I mean, he made up all these conspiracy theories, all these lies, and God, I just can't imagine. Donald. I'm not saying he didn't do some good things, but there's a lot of things he did bad too on the other side of the coin. But he's not. For a future president, no. If he ever could get back in office, I'd be stunned if he made it back in office. But it would shock me to see Donald Trump as the president again, and that would certainly not be good. And believe me, this country does not want that. They don't want, especially DOJ, Department of Justice. They do not want Donald Trump back running this country. No way. He'll never win. Even if he goes up against Biden, he'll lose again. I guarantee you, Biden will beat him. Straight up, beat him. Beat him bad too. He'll beat him. He'll kick his ass this time because his policies are starting to work right now. And the only thing that's pretty bad right now is the stock market, but that's up and down anyway. Interest rates to curb inflation. They got things going on to curb the inflation. So things are getting better. Gas prices came down. It's because of the damn Russian war against Ukraine. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff kicked around. A lot of lies, a lot of misconceptions, a lot of conspiracy theories. Yeah, Donald Trump's he's basically a part of all that. But will he be president again? I would say no, but heck, who knows, man? Who knows what the way American people vote nowadays? You can't. I don't even know the word for it, but you can't even come to. They're just it's freaking crazy. It's just flat out nuts. It's just so much crap going around. Yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me if the way the American people vote, that they would vote for Donald Trump and put him back in office again. It wouldn't surprise me. But then, if he was, what are you going to do? And besides, how's he gonna fix the country? He's gonna make America great. America's been great, always will be. America's the best country you can live in the world. Just look around the world, you could see it. There's no country better than ours. We got, believe me, we're trying to keep democracy, and we're fighting to do that. So if they want to, Donald Trump, I'll tell you what Donald Trump's in there for. And that's to get rid of the United States Constitution. He's out to get rid of democracy. That's what he's out to do. And he wants to do it in his own form, his own type of government system. In other words, him heading it up, and that's what he wants to do. And whether he could do it, I don't think he can. Let's see. He could bring stock prices up through confidence. The stock market, like I said, it's a tricky thing. It's like gambling. You're gambling, you're putting your money into something, you're hoping that's going to double your money, if not triple it. And it's like going to a slot machine in a casino, and and you think you're gonna win. You think by putting $100 in there and max betting, you're gonna win. You're not. You could. It's a gamble. It's however you choose, or it's up to you. Trump's going to be in jail before. if I don't know, he could, but I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. I don't know. Donald Trump's got a lot of money. He can pay off a lot of people, and believe me, he can. And Donald Trump's dealt with the mob too back in the day. So and believe me, the mob's still around. It hasn't gone anywhere. It may be a lot less than what it used to be, but believe me, it's under the floor mat now. They own. See, the mob can just. They know they just build legitimate businesses up, and They do it the old-fashioned way, just how businesses should be bought and run. They buy them. I mean, I can tell you straight up right now, the Tour Paradise, the horse racing track in Phoenix, is owned by a mobster that used to be out of Las Vegas. And he's an old guy. He's not, I don't know. He's got to be 80-something years old, that guy that owns that place. And, he's able to do it here. And then another place, the dog track, was also run by the mob, too. The Greyhound racetrack that was on Washington and 40th Street, that was run by the mob too. And one of the informants, which was Don Bowles, he was, they thought he was a cop, and he wasn't. He was snooping his nose where it shouldn't have been. And guess what happened to him? They put a bomb under his car and blew him up. That's what happened to Don Bowles. Did they get those guys for that? I don't even know. I don't think they ever did. I think they got some, but I don't think they got them all. But the ones that were left were dead, or died, or had been killed and buried and in the, Las Vegas desert, and put in the 55-gallon barrels, and, put with concrete in the barrels, and at the bottom of the lake they went, And I always thought they would, put their feet in a couple 5-gallon buckets and then, put in concrete. But, they didn't do it that way. They just put them, they chopped up the bodies and stuck the body parts in, and poured the concrete and dropped it, took a boat and dumped it somewhere in the lake, and now they're coming up. They come up with 6 bodies now. There'll probably be more. Who knows? Unless the lake goes down further, Who knows? Trump will never go to jail, just like Hillary didn't. Well, no, I don't think he'll go to jail, but what they're going to try to do is they're trying to get it where they can use the 14th Amendment on him, is what they're going to try to. And that way, what they're going to do is use the investigation with DOJ, and they're going to say, because he falls under the 14th Amendment, they could just say, you can't run for office. You wait. That's going to come up here yet. Give it a couple more months. I'd say probably January, February, you're going to hear something on Donald Trump. But I would say that they won't arrest him, but he'll be forced to not run again. You just watch. And it's a wait and see thing. Yeah, Hillary, they couldn't touch. People, she was just being part of the president's wife. You can't touch these people, They could kill somebody and get away with it. That's just how these people, that's just how they run, Isn't that amazing? The country we live in, money can, if you got enough money, you can kill somebody and get away with it. Because you have other people do all the dirty work. That's what Donald Trump did. He had other people do all the dirt. All the lawyers did all the dirty work. Who else? You could just name. How many lawyers has this guy got? He's got it's like he got 100 lawyers, He stole the papers, so he did take the papers. He took the property from the government out of the White House, so they got him there. So that right there, and now they got 2 people out of the insurrection that got indicted now, and they're going to jail. And those people, they got the dots tied, those guys, to Donald Trump. The Proud Boys. Donald Trump said, "Stand by, stand back." That was him giving a code to the group, stating that, hey, stand by, stand back, just stand by. Donald Trump was their leader. He had all those people doing he sent them to the Capitol building, do all the damage, do all the dirty work, and it left Donald Trump out of it. See, Donald Trump's not stupid, okay? You might think I think he's got a lot of mental illness. He definitely has mental illness with him, with himself. I mean, they got a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists that all come out and say the dude's a narcissist. He's this, he's that. He's mentally ill. He should not be. You should hear the things he said right out. You could just listen to it. You can go to YouTube and hear, like, okay, he's gonna make, if you sell drugs and get caught, you're gonna get the death sentence, and they'll put you to death. And then, in other words, and how they do that, they put a bullet through between your two eyes. He shouldn't he be tried? He should be tried for treason. Really, he really shouldn't. He really should. But will they do it? That's the thing. Will they? Like I said, we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's going to come down. They're going to use the 14th Amendment on him and get him there. But just say, hey, we're not charging you, we're not indicting you, but we're gonna threaten to indict you. But on the same token, that's so that you agree that you're going to sign this, that you can't run for public office ever again. Look how old he is. He's going to be, what, 70? Was he 7? I don't know how old. I have to look him up on YouTube how old he is. He's got to be 70. He's got to be 76, 77. I'm going to say he's 77, but I might be wrong. But he's too old. He shouldn't be, nobody that old. And same with Biden, same thing. But that's what the Democrats picked. Now he beat Trump. He'll beat him again. If Trump was able to run, which he is right now, yeah, he's 80. Yeah, see? Isn't that amazing? How many men live to 80? Not too many. Yeah, but now you know why he doesn't speak so well. Now you know why he's got a form of dementia, and that's what happens when you turn 75 and up. Your brain, your mind starts to go away a little bit, or a lot. But like I said, Biden will beat Trump head to toe. And how will Donald Trump take that if he loses to Biden again? How would he take it? That's the thing. I mean, I'm kind of curious. I'd sure like to see what he does next. What's he gonna do? Like a triple. What do you call it? Do a triple insurrection next time. This time he'll get a lot more people. But yeah, when you commit these kind of crimes, you end up going. Look at they got those insurrectionists. They got them. They charge them. They're going to go downtown for 20 years. I don't think they'll get 20. I'd say they'll probably get more like 12 years. They'll get half of the 20. But who knows? Who knows? Would Elon Musk be? No. Elon Musk would not be a good president. He's pretty flipped out pretty flipped out when it comes to he's a smart guy. He's a super sharp guy. That's a guy that knows a lot. He's got Tesla. What else does he have? He's got Twitter, Tesla. What, he bought Twitter for what, $44 billion? Jeez. Plus he owns Tesla? How much money does the guy got? He's got way more than Trump. Trump can't even match him head to toe. Trump can't afford Twitter. Trump can't afford, he can't afford to buy billion-dollar companies. He's barely a billionaire himself. The SpaceX. Yeah, he owns SpaceX too. I forgot. SpaceX, Twitter, and let's see, SpaceX, Twitter, and Tesla. Think about that. Yeah, the guy's smart as crap. He could build a spacecraft that it's going to put us back on the moon. Probably. I would love to see if I could be around for another 50 years. You know what this country's going to be in 50 years? Or the world's going to be here? people are going to be traveling out of the universe in about, I'm going to say 50 years. We're going to be space traveling big time out of the universe. I don't know what you guys think, but that's what I think. But that's a fair assessment there. Seems like he could run the country in his spare time. I just don't think he could do it. It's just too much. I mean, how could you use SpaceX and Tesla, Twitter? I just don't see it. We lost a lot of people here. I think we should shut her down. It's already late. Here it is Sunday morning coming up on. We are in Sunday morning. So let's close it out, guys. I'm gonna drink a little iced tea and call it quits. Yeah, it would seem people would like. Well, I don't know. If you could run a company, yeah, I imagine you could be a president. But look at Donald Trump. I guess you could take a business interest and turn it into something else, Turn it into a few other things. I don't know. But Donald Trump's too old. Biden's too old. We got to come up with younger people. They got to put younger people in there. But then look at the young people that are out there, freaking out of their minds. I don't have any faith in the people that are coming up. Look at our government system. Look at all these people. They're freaking nuts. They're freaking mentally ill. I mean, look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. Look at some of these people. I mean, Giuliani. That guy's a freaking nutcase. The pillow guy. That makes me laugh. The pillow guy. And Donald Trump's got him trying to do some stuff, run some things in the Republican Party. I mean, the guy's freaking out of it. I mean, he's an ex-drug user. And, oh, man. We're in trouble. Let's see. It's up to... Yeah, I know. It's up to generalities. I'm just going to be glad I'm not going to be around to see what bad things happen. But let's see. But why buy... why buy Twitter? So Donald Trump could chat there and run his tweets. I never used Twitter. I barely like Facebook. This is about all I can handle here. Just YouTube alone, let alone anything else. It's insane. Generation X. I mean, yeah, there's some sharp people. There's some smart people out there, but there's a lot of dumb ones too. More dumb than there are smart. Then you got Russia doing its crap, and they're capable. Russia's capable of doing a lot of damage to a lot of countries. I mean, they got lots of nuclear bombs, man. They got high-tech technology in Russia, and believe me, they're not to be played around with. That's for sure. You got an insane guy running that platform too, and Putin. Putin's freaking nuts. He's out of his mind. To do what he did is insane. It's just insane. I don't know why he did what he did. There's no reason for it. Now, what's the reason to invade the country next to you? Just because? Because you know why? Because they want it. Because there's a lot of gold. Not gold, but there's a lot of resources that are in Ukraine that Russia wants. Especially it's got wheat. It's one of the leading countries for wheat production in the world, right there. Oh yeah, and it's got the ports, the Black Sea ports. Yeah, that's what Russia wants. Yeah, they want to tap into all that. That could really open their bank accounts. But where else are they going to operate? They're put in a corner. They're like in the bad boy corner now. Who wants to deal with Russia? Who wants to deal with Putin? He's just an old hardliner, former communist. just trying to, he's pushing all the buttons now, including threatening our country with nuclear weapons. And so he thinks he can win a nuclear war. Nobody wins a nuclear war. Nobody. We all lose. You destroy. If he fires nuclear tactical weapons in Ukraine, all that radiation fallout's going to be all over the place. So why spend all that money in getting tanks and in bombing the place? And I mean, they destroyed the place. There's nothing left of it. I mean, if you shoot a nuclear bombs in there, that radiation is going to ruin all that there. So what would be? It would be probably. I don't know. I'm trying to think here. I couldn't even say how long it would take before you could accept people live in that country again if there was nuclear fallout, because all the radiation would be all into the ground. It would ruin all your livestock, all your wheat, everything would be destroyed. So what's the reason? What's the purpose? Why would you do that? That's insane. Think about it. I know it's insane. Putin should know better than that. I mean, I know he's a lot smarter than, believe me, Russian people are smart people. They're not dumb. They got scientists. They got all kinds of stuff there. I've chatted with some Russian people that speak English. One channel that's a Russian guy is called Inside Russia. Go listen to that channel. Listen to him. He's just a Russian guy that left Russia with his family. He got his family out of Russia, and he barely can do it. It cost him about everything he had. He even lost his 2 homes he had there too. He'll never be able to go back to those homes he owns. He'll never get his money back. He lost all the way around. But he probably saved his life because he was told that they were coming to knock on his door the next day, and he got out of the country just in the nick of time. Otherwise, they were going to put him in a uniform and make him go to the front lines. And here he is, 50-year-old guy. Basically, if you're anywhere from 18 on up to 60, they can make you go fight, put you on the front lines, and you know what happens there. You just become target practice. It's like going to the gun store and buying the target pads that you shoot at to practice. That's you. You're just taking a picture of yourself just so they can shoot bullets at your head. So they make sure at least they kill you on target, with their little target maps that they got nowadays. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I guess it's a wait and see, just like everything else. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, but yeah, the United States is still the best country in the world. There's no better country to live, and you got more freedoms here than you'll have any. Well, yeah, I think you'll have more freedoms here than most places. There's probably some places in Europe that might be more free than we are, but just because we keep making more and more laws to make it less free, but still, even though we're the safest country, I mean, think about where we're located. It's hard to attack us. Russia just, they could fire some nuclear, they could take us out in 4 bombs, but then again, so could we. This country's not stupid either. Unless we get somebody like Donald Trump in there that can really push the nuclear buttons, which wouldn't be good, But that's why I say they don't want Donald Trump there, because they just he for our safety, for the safety of this country, we don't want him back in office. Put anybody in there, but just don't put him. That's all I got to say. I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat or independent. I don't care, as long as it's not Donald Trump. That's just my point of the whole thing. If I had to choose between Trump and Biden, it's always going to be Biden over Trump. That's that's just me. But I'm an independent. I'm right down the middle. So I'm not too far to the right, and I'm not too far to the left. I'm right smack where I should be. And that's the way our governments, that's the way our Republicans and Democrats need to be. The right needs to go more towards the center, and the left needs to go more towards the center as well. And then things will be okay. So we think, but yeah, it just depends on if you put the crazies in there, and you'll see what'll happen. We just want to make sure. They should make everybody take a mental illness test before they become president. That's what they should do. But they can't. But they should. Because you don't want somebody that's freaking as nutty as Donald Trump in there, to push some buttons or to push the wrong buttons. And next thing you know, we're going to get bombed. I mean, though Donald Trump does say he's buddies with Putin, it doesn't matter. He even if he did become president, he could never in his life be able to, be good with Russia. I don't think there's any country in the world that could be buddies up against him other than the Iranians. Let me think. Iran, China, and maybe Pakistan might be another. India, Russia's got India on their side too. So I mean, they got a few, but not that many. China's not so keen on Putin. It's kind of embarrassing that they've. Put it this way, they stayed out of getting involved with the war. They stayed out of it completely. China did. For good reason. Yeah, they don't want to deal with the madman over there. He's just a one notch next to Hitler on the list. You know how bad Hitler was, but to me, to me, Putin's just as bad as Hitler, big time. Killing children, wives, families, animal, pets, just all walks of life, hospitals with children's hospitals, totally bombing, killing all these kids, children just barely born, and they're getting killed. That's just insane. And then their troops are raping women and kids, and that's horrible. It's a horrible story. It's almost as bad as a Holocaust, almost. But I don't know. It's amazing. The reason why they're getting away with it is because of the nuclear weapons. Yeah, Putin's got a lot. They've got a little bit more weaponry than we do. And it's amazing they got so much, but somehow they do. Out of all these years they were kicking back, they were building up their military. Waiting for that rainy day to come, and then it came, and then they decided to go ahead and try to, then they did a land grab with Ukraine, and it's, the people voted for us. They wanted to become part. Yeah, right, they did. Yeah, put a bullet to you put a gun next to your head, and see who votes for what. Yeah, if you don't vote to annex, then guess what? You get a bullet between your eyes. That's your choice. Yes, Trump was friends with Putin. I think he saved us from. Well, he did, but would he do it now? I don't think he could. I don't think he can. If he was to be president again, he can't be trusted, man. If somebody that's going to be friends with Putin, that's kind of insane, if you ask me. I mean, Trump actually said that he agrees with what Russia's doing right now. Oh, it's okay. it's okay to kill kids. It's okay to kill the wives, the husbands, kill the whole entire family, rape women, rape children, raping girls that are 10 years old, and even earlier age than that. I mean, that's pretty sick, but that's what's going on right now. At least, these Russian these hardliners that are coming up with this crapper. But then again, that's what war is. War, that kind of thing happens. Women, children, they get raped all the time. And nobody will do anything about it. Nobody. Isn't that funny? Seems kind of strange and kind of odd to me, but that's just the way it seems, the way it's going on right now. I mean, everything that's going on, it just seems like things just get worse, before they get better, But we just have to sit back. All we could do is sit back and wait. We can't do anything about any of these problems. The world's creating problems for itself on its own. Man is the destruction of the planet Earth. Man himself. Man only has him to blame himself. Because it's man alone that's committing these atrocities out there. So, but what can you say? What can I say? What can there's a band that did a song. What can I say? What could I do? What was that band called? I'm trying to think of the band. I'm not coming up with the right words. What were they called? Shoot, they were back in the 70s, early 80s. The Clash. What could I say or what could I do? The Clash had a song about. It's funny. These bands write all these songs about, things that are going on out in the world, and and people don't seem to pay any attention to it. It's gonna all end soon. I think we're receiving Bible prophecy as we look upon everything around us. You look around, you just look at everything all the way around the world, all around mankind, and God's God's in charge, really is. But that's why I say it's going to end. Man, that plane was freaking rumbling. Freaking rumbled my RV. I could feel but yeah, just like you're saying, Meyer. But yeah, I'd say it's going to end. I just think we're going through Bible prophecy now. You just look around, lakes are drying up, and especially in the West, where we're going to get our water. Where's our water going to come from? The lake's drying up. They're keeping it right now at about 20, 26, 27% full. And nobody talks about Lake Powell. Nobody seems to talk about it. That's how it goes. It's crazy, but that's how it goes. The media sells it, and you live it. The media, they don't tell you everything. They, if they did, people be jumping out of windows, 10-story high buildings, but that's just the way it would be. People are just going to Mississippi River. No, Mississippi River's okay. Go to a channel called Sin City Outdoors. They just went to Mississippi. And they went to look themselves, and no, the river's fine. It's just that when they went out, they weren't releasing water. They have to look at it. Put it this way: Mississippi, in some places, the river is actually 11 miles wide and 200 feet deep in the Mississippi River. In some places, they did show some places where there was less water than normal, but when they went out there themselves, check it out for yourself, because they got pictures, and they really investigated. They did a great job, and their conclusion is is that no, the river's actually the same as it ever was, and it's not drying up. So now I don't know where the water starts, where the Mississippi forms, and where the mouth of it is, but no, it's in good shape. It's a different story though at Lake Mead. Lake Mead's it's because there's so many people in the West drinking, sucking up that water. They've got, 7 states that have got a straw into that lake, and well, now we have to we can't, like Arizona. Arizona is not going to get a lot of the water, because they cut us off, and California they can't cut off because they bought into it. They see what the thing about California is they paid for the CAP in Arizona, which fills up Lake Pleasant in Phoenix. It keeps that lake full all the time. But will it? It can't. It won't be able to now. Now that they cut Arizona off, they took us. I forget what percentage that they cut us off, but I think Arizona can hold its own though. We got underground water. I think Arizona's in pretty good shape, comparably to other states. Other states don't have we got the CAP canal, and that guarantees water to California and to all the farmers, all the crops that need to grow all the vegetables and all the fruits and stuff like that. So I think we're okay. I think we'll be all right. Las Vegas, there's I don't know. California, I'm going to say, is the biggest water user out of everybody in the West. I mean, there's they got 28 million people living there, right there in LA. And you got San Francisco, you got San Diego. Oh my God, they got so many people sucking that water dry. Arizona, you can't blame us. We got 5.5 million people here, and believe me, the lakes we have here in Arizona we got 2 big major reservoirs here in Arizona. We got Roosevelt Lake and we have Lake Pleasant. Just those 2 reservoirs alone will keep us going. So, and we got plenty. We got money. We still got rain coming in, but none seems to be going into Lake Powell though. Lake Powell is only like 20. I haven't checked the reports. I'm gonna have to go into the reports and look at where Lake Powell is because I haven't really actually looked at that. There's a channel called Vegas Detect. Check those guys out, or that guy out. He's got a great channel. He does all that kind of investigating on water sources and stuff in the West. So I'm just gonna ask him. I'm gonna go into his channel and I'm gonna ask him, hey, you should do a report on Lake Powell too, not just Lake Mead, because Lake Powell is important just as much as Lake Mead is, because that's the whole Colorado River source right there. But of course, it all starts in the state of Colorado, and what's happened, I think they detoured some of the water to other sections, and I think that's why Lake Powell hasn't got nearly as much water. Then again, there hasn't been that much snow runoff. But I think this year is going to be, so far, so good. We got lots of snowstorms that have dumped a lot of snow. And Sierra Nevadas, too. They got a lot of snow up in there. So I think we're going to be just fine. I think things will go back to normal here. But as for Lake Mead, shoot, that lake's, I think, 20... I'm going to have to look. I'm going to have to check into it, because you can go into the reports and get that information. I'm going to do that. I should do that too, I mean, I could stand out and do a report, because nobody could go to Lake Mead now. You can't take any pictures. You can't do videos. You can't do any of that anymore. The government put a stop to it, because people were just putting all the negativity on what's going on at Lake Mead, and they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know how bad it really is, but it's actually worse than what it really is. It's way worse. But but right now, as per his reports, Vegas DTEC, Lake Mead outflows and inflows change daily. But they're at the very start of the year, they stop the outflows because they're trying to hold. They want it because they want the report to look better, so they hold back the water. And then right after the first of the year, then they're going to go ahead and start, draining, running water down the CAP and running that water. Well, you got to run it down this. You got to get it to CAP. That's the only way you can get it to. You get it over to California. That's the only way. It goes to the CAP, which comes through Arizona. CAP goes to Lake Pleasant. Then Lake Pleasant releases it into the Gila, and the Gila River goes all the way out into the ocean. And that's how Mexico gets their share of the water, because they use it for crops and growing, all the different types of fruit and vegetables. So, but now what they're trying to do is stop them from doing alfalfa. Because they're letting a lot of the alfalfa go out of the United States and go to places like China and some other places that don't benefit. What they should do is make it that they should change all that and make it so that it stays in the West. So that way we can maintain what we have. And we got a lot of rain. I mean, Phoenix got really dumped on here just last week. Shoot, we got more rain than we've ever got. We had some places like up to 5-6 inches of rain. In some places, right where I'm at in Mesa, Arizona, right at the border of Mesa and Apache Junction, it was like over 3 inches of rain. So yeah, so that's all good for Arizona. So all that water goes underground. We save all of it. We don't. When that rained, we got a catchment system here where we don't lose the water. Any water that runs in the street goes in the gutters. It all goes into a catchment system. So I should check outflows at Lake Pleasant. No, it doesn't. Vegas DTEC is only doing the reports on Lake Mead. He should do more. He should cover Lake Powell. And he should cover the Arizona lakes, too. And I should bring that up to him. This way he's got more to report on, Okay, what came out of Squirrel Lake? What came out of, what's coming out of the Salt River lakes and rivers? Check into that, because there's Roosevelt, there's Apache, there's Canyon, there's Squirrel Lake, there's Tempe Town Lake, which is in the valley here. And that all goes out. And that all gets held back too, and then released out into the Salt River, and then they don't run it all the time. They run it out. Basically, what they do is they run it to Tempe Town Lake and keep that lake full. That's just another catchment system, which it wasn't about 10 years. Well, maybe I'm going to say that it's been there for like 15 years. But it's just something to look into. You do those reports too. Show where that water, how much water has been. You got to go back. You need to go back about probably 30 years, maybe more. I'd say 30. I'd start at 30 and see how much water 30 years ago comparably to it is right now. And look at the reports and see how much water are we actually in a drought? Or is it just made up that we're in a drought, but we're really not? Because I know in Arizona, that's why we got to start looking at those, doing more reports on the lakes here, because that tells a story for the West and over in all that water going over into California. So something to consider, big time. I heard they will shoot you if you get in the canal. Oh, you mean which canal are you talking about? Phoenix has a lot of canals. Not just The CAP canal is a big one. That's a federal system that was built, and California paid for it. California used their money to make sure that, because they wanted to make sure that they had a guarantee that water was going to get to them for their farms and their crops and all that stuff. So like I said, we got to take a look at all that and figure out what the hell is going on and take it from there. I ride my Ski-Doo on the Colorado River. You need to ride up to the casino in Laughlin, Davy. Oh, I've been to Laughlin. It's been a while, but yeah, the river is a little. Like I said, the water coming out of there is coming out of Lake Mojave. Lake Mojave, that catchment system is what runs water down to the rest of the Colorado, down into California. Then again, we got the CAP. The CAP does the same thing. And the CAP was paid for by California, because California wanted to guarantee that they were going to get their fair share of the water too, So we're not getting a lot of the only benefit we're getting is that that CAP goes to right straight to Lake Pleasant. And then Lake Pleasant's a big freaking lake. It's a freaking huge lake. You should check it out. Check out RV or TV. You can look under Lake Pleasant RV or TV, and then you could get a kind of a glimpse about how about that reservoir. That's the biggest reservoir we got in the Phoenix area. And then a little bit further north, and you got Roosevelt. That's a big lake too. Roosevelt and probably Lake Pleasant combined would be about, I would say, a quarter of what Lake Mead used to be. Because Lake Mead's freaking, look at it. It's empty. It's freaking scary what that became. But we don't have the same problem. You got all these states sucking the water out of it and draining it, But yeah, here in like I said, we've taken care of that. Here, Arizona's done a good job, man. They get water from the CAP, comes to Lake Pleasant and Roosevelt Lake alone, and then the underwater water catchment system here. It's in great shape. We haven't lost any water. We Arizona, every toilet that flushes all gets recirculated right back. We don't lose anything. There's the only thing we probably lose is evaporation. That might be the only thing that we really lose, But yeah, it's something to really look into. The CAP, like I said, it runs straight. Check it out. It runs all the way down and runs right directly into Lake Pleasant. Lake Pleasant's a nice lake, man. Just north. It's about, from where I'm at, it'd be like a 70-mile ride to get there. Because it's 35 miles from North Phoenix to Lake Pleasant. And it's easily, I'm going to say 75 miles. I'll have to do a Google search on it. But yeah, I have to figure out the research on the water and do a report. I could do a report too. I can sit out in the chair, just sit on my chair and do the report. Look at some scenery, and just like Vegas D-Tech. I just need somebody that's good at making videos, doing video editing for me. Not much, just to do a little bit, and I can pay somebody to do it if I could find somebody that's that could do a pretty good job. Make me my video to start off for my channel, and I'll change it up a little bit. Maybe I start another channel. On. I'm not sure what I'd call it, but maybe I'll look into that. And doing water reports on our lakes, and going back like 30 years, and I'm going to show what the water was 30 years ago comparably to what it is right now, and start there, and then figure out in between what's that way we kind of get an idea, a glimpse of what's going on and what the real truth is. Okay, we get what's the snow melt last year comparably to each year, and go back each year and figure it out. Okay, where do we start losing chunks of water? Where did it go? Why did it go? Well, we know water's been going to California, and it's been for good reason. I mean, we need, you and I and everybody else in the West needs to eat. We need vegetables. We need our fruits. We need our we need all that. So how do we get it? California. I mean, Arizona's got some too, but not we don't we got such a harsh environment here. We just do. The desert's not a good place because of the summer. 6, 7 months, 8 months out of the year, it's freaking hot. The rest of it, you basically got 3 months of cool weather. After that, it's hot. So you got to look at that. And you go up northern Arizona, and it's just too cold for 6, 7, 8 months or 7 months out of the year. So for that reason, you can't grow stuff, and you can't grow it in the desert. So where else can you grow it? California, they got the better weather. They got 80 degrees or less every single day. They got mild winters. They got temperatures that are 55, 60 degree for the low. So your stuff doesn't freeze a lot of the times. It just doesn't freeze because the weather's so mild. It's perfect. Like I said, Arizona just doesn't have the climate for it. I mean, you do for maybe 4 or 5 months of the year, but that's just not going to cut it. It costs too much to try to make something work for 4 months out of the year. The cost of the water, for one, is a big one. So in Arizona, we opted out. We do have some. We do some kind of crops and stuff here, but we're getting better at it. Put it this way. We're figuring things out here because we have to. And if we don't, then I and everybody else is going to suffer. And you watch, and when everything dries up, what happens? Everybody goes out of business. Next thing you know, people are moving out of the West. But where are they going to go? Can't go to California. It's too expensive. Can't come here. It's too expensive too. We're right next to California. Where can you go? Every place else is cold. The environment's just too rough, Midwest, too cold, too snowy. But their summers are pretty mild, though. But they got the perfect setup, at least for growing, at least some of the part of the year because of the moist, humid weather. The humid weather versus the hot, super hot and dry weather, that you have in Las Vegas and you have here in Phoenix, See, my ex-girlfriend's electric bill is $800 a month. And Kelly, David, put that in your pipe and smoke it. See, how can your electric bill be that high? In Phoenix, I could see because it's so hot and brutal here. It's really brutal in the summer. Until you spend a summer here, oh my God, you can't even imagine. Freaking insane. But we, like I said, we're putting the brakes on things here in Arizona. We have been for quite some time, actually. And they just had a lady come on just not too long ago, and from Salt River Project, and they came out and gave some information, reports, and those reports don't lie. But now, if you really want to know the truth, watch Vegas D-Tech. The problem is he can't go out to the lake now, to Lake Mead anymore, because they won't let him. He needs special permits to be able to do his YouTube channel out there. So that's another kick in the butt, I guess. Let's see. Like I said, and then you got to take the reports in stride in how much of the reporting is accurate. That's why he went out to the lake, because he would put markers out. He would use what they had out there as a marker to see how much water receded, and then take that per each day. But now he can't do that because he's trying to figure out a way he could be able to do his reports and still be able to go out to the lake. But I think he's going to have to get special. It's federal government. So that's the problem. He's crossing into dangerous territory there because our government, you know how our government works? They're a little slow. Things don't happen quickly in our United States government system. Never has, never will. I guess you could call it bad bureaucracy, but that's one of the reasons Donald Trump wanted to get in there so he could clean up the swamp. But unfortunately, the swamp is so deep that he can't even begin to tread the water. No, he can't. Unfortunately, you can't swim in swift current, and that's where Donald Trump failed right there. He can't cut the bureaucracy, and he won't be able to. The government's been this way since the Constitution started, and it's not going to change now. Drones. You can't fly a drone at Lake Mead. And I'm not so sure you could fly them anywhere. I know you can't by any dam. Any man-made or structured dam, you can't fly drones around. You're not supposed to. If you get caught, you're gonna end up in jail. And I'm not saying it's anyway, but the time spent in jail, it's just not worth it. The amount of jail time you'll get versus, just like I said, it's not worth it. Not unless you're a 12-year-old, that gets caught with the crime, and what are they going to do? They can't charge a minor, right? Well, I guess they could, but he'd be out in 10 years. He's still a young man. He could still make a living, It's the electric. Yeah, what part of California? Because you don't even need air conditioning a lot of the places in California. Yeah, I know you don't need air conditioning in San Francisco. San Diego, yeah, it could get a little muggy. It could get kind of humid because of the ocean. And I'm not so sure. But it all comes down to we gotta watch everybody's got to watch their ass, because otherwise our ass is going to become grass if we don't look out, because we got to start paying attention to what's going on with the water, because we got to figure out how to make our water work for ourselves and not suffer because of it. We can make water work for us instead of against us if we do things the right way. That means watch where the water is going and how much is going, and look into the past and see how much water has been coming into each state for versus like Utah, Arizona, California. We know California doesn't get that much rain. It just seems though that they never seem to get that much rain there. At least they haven't in the past. In the last few years, it's been pretty dry. I can say that because I've been in Arizona for all my life, and I could tell you that back in the 1970s we had flooding. We had lots of water. We had so much water we didn't know what to do with it all. Back in the 70s, early 80s, I would say from about 85 till now is where we've seen the drastic lackluster amounts of water that we've seen. I've noticed one thing out of all since 85, since I've lived here my whole life, since what? I was born in 62, and let me think here. 62, and now I'm 60. So, like I said, we got to start doing reports. We got to start seeing where the water's, when did this water all of a sudden, when was this drought, where did it start, and where are we at now? And start paying attention and managing the water better. That's all. I know Arizona's doing a good job right now. Arizona is. California, not so sure about, because I can't explain California. I can only tell you what goes on here a little bit. But you got to start looking at the water releases, you know, and how much water is coming in, how much is going out, and pay attention as to what we're holding back to make sure that we're keeping some of this water, and we're not going to run dry on us in the next 50 years. We just got to make sure a guarantee that we could estimate for the next 50 years that there'll be enough to sustain all the people living here and all the people in the West, basically. So that's about what it comes down to. See, all the sidewalks are wet. Water costs as much as soda these days. Yeah, water's expensive. I noticed that. You go to fill up a gallon jug, it costs you $1. Shoot, I paid $2.99 for a gallon of water, spring water. Imagine that. I got it sitting here right on the floor. $1.90. Well, it's in the bathroom now, here and here, but yeah, $1.90. I almost dropped my pants. It's like, oh, you got to be kidding me. $2, and to go to the machine to fill it up is about 50 cents. It's twice what it used to be. It used to be a quarter. I remember seeing it when it went to 35 cents. I thought that was highway robbery. Now it's 35, another 15 cents more, went up to 50 cents. See? Yeah, it used to be free, yeah. I mean, then it's getting to be harder and harder to get water into your RV, I begin to realize how much water I filled up this tank, this 30-gallon tank in here. Shoot, less than a week, I went through it all. And all I was filling was those 16-ounce water bottles. It's just so I could use that water instead of, going through my bottled water. I'm saving the bottled water. But, I need to use more of the regular, potable water instead, I got to start managing my water better too. And I already started. I seen how much I used. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe those few bottles that I filled went through the freaking tank. I couldn't believe it, but I had to because I did it. I seen it full, and now I'm seeing where it's empty. I'm like, wow. I mean, that just goes to show if you're in a house how much wasted water there is, but not really, because any water that goes down a toilet, any wastewater is all being cleaned and processed and put right back into the system again. So I know Arizona prides itself in that. So now Las Vegas needs to do the same thing, and they are. California, not so much, because they're using a lot of people, man. It's 28 million people. Figure out each 28 million people. Figure out how much one person drinks, uses water daily, and estimate on that too, and just see. Then you start to really see why Lake Mead is empty, and that tells the whole story. Almost tells the whole story. But watch Vegas D-Tech. He's interesting. I like the guy's channel a lot. It sucks that he can't go out to Lake Mead anymore. I like his reports out there. He got some really good videos out there, and you can go back and watch those videos. It's really cool. He got to where there was a water straw that goes into the lake, and he actually showed where the water straws were out of the lake. In other words, the water had gone past the underneath the pipes. So since they couldn't get the pipes into the water, or they just took them out, took the pipes completely out of there. And what they did is they drilled a hole down the center of the lake where the water was the deepest, and then they put a big straw there. They invested over $1 billion into that. Las Vegas did. That was their own kick. That was on them. But that was to guarantee themselves that they would get the last drop or drip of the water out of that lake. So Las Vegas is set because all of our straws where we get our water, where it sucks to get us water, the water is now below it. So now we can't get the water. So we have to get. So that's what I'm saying. We got to use our own water now. We're pretty much screwed. So yeah, Las Vegas they put a big investment, but it's investment that they're gonna get every drop of that lake, and it's all gonna go. It's mainly gonna go to them because it is their lake anyway. So, but we're okay here. Like I said, but what you have to do is desalinate. In other words, desalination. It'd be a good trip is to take is to go to where the desalination plant is in Yuma and show that and just say, hey, this is not in operation. Why is this not in operation? Why? Why not? It's already there. It's right there in Yuma, right next to heading towards San Diego. Why not? That from there they can take that water, and what they need to do is make a pipeline to bring carry that water from desalination plant right to actually what they need to do is run a straw and take it over to Lake Mead. That's what they need to do. That's the whole thing right there. In a boondocking with Boomer. Boondocking with Boomer. Are you new to the channel? Welcome to the channel. If you are new, I don't remember seeing you here, but maybe you have been. Let's see. Where will they put all the salt? Well, that's what the desalination plant's for. It desalts the water, takes all the salt out of the water, and then what I'm trying to say is they need to run a pipeline. But you know how expensive that's going to be. You know how expensive that'll be to run a straw, to go all the way and pump it to Lake Mead. Man, who's going to pay for it? You got to start somewhere, right? That's where they need to start. They talked about it, but there was some negatives about it too, on how the cost to maintain the plant. How is it worth it? Would it be worth to open up that plant again because they shut it down? It's been out of operation, and thing is, how long has it been? I don't know. That'd be a good report. I could tell that to Vegas DTech. I could say, hey, why don't you do a trip to the desalination plant there in Yuma and do a report from there and say, okay, this place has been down. When did it go down? Why is it down? How much would it cost to maintain the place? It certainly can employ some people, right? That'd be a job, an extra job. So, we got to start. We got to start paying attention what we're doing. Like I said, my eyes opened up when I went through my whole 30 gallons of water in here in less than a week. I'm like, you mean tell me I went through 30 gallons? How did I do that? I'm not filling up gallons. All I'm doing is filling up 16-ounce bottles. I got those bigger bottles I had. I think it was like a 32-ounce. And I know I was refilling those. So that might have been, had to have been where most of it was going, But like I'm saying, it's just, it's crazy. But anyway, guys, we need to close it down here. It's getting too late. I got to get to sleep. Got a bunch of stuff to get. I got to do some cleanup. I got to make an area for my heater so I can run my heater in here. So I got to clean up. I basically got to move some things around and get prepared for that too. Yeah. But what Meyer's saying about where they put the salt, where salt's needed, anywhere. Shoot, you could think of this. Okay, now you could turn that salt into salt that you could use on your food. You could use it for that. There's some other things you could probably use salt for too. That would be a benefit. Sea salt. That is sea salt is what it is. So what's more healthy? Sea salt. Batteries. There you go. See? See, now we open up more eyes, more people are able to see. Yeah, so you take one bad and you make a good out of it. And you make a good out of a bad, That's what you got to do. You got to think. People got to start using their heads. See, the problem is where they're using their heads is out of their ass. See, that's the problem. See, they got to stop people from using their head out of their ass. And that's what you got to do. But how are you going to do it? How are you going to maintain? Same way we're going to try to maintain that salt plant in Yuma that's not operating right now. Why not? It's right next to the ocean. Why not? It makes sense to run a pipe from the ocean. And I'm sure they did it at one point. I'm sure they thought about all this. So evidently that thought got put to pass, Two for Bad Davy, huh? I'm just trying to figure out what we're going to do in the West. We all live here. I don't know where most of you guys live, but some people don't care because they live in the East Coast or they live in the Midwest. They don't freaking care. They don't care. Okay, I'm in Washington State. I don't care about Arizona. We got plenty of water here. We got the ocean. Do they got desalination plants in California? Do they have them? Doug Ducey, our former governor, well, he still is our governor, but not for long. Katie Hobbs will be the governor here shortly, and then they almost got basically they shut Kari Lake's mouth up. She don't have much to say anymore. Kari Lake, what a joke. She was a joke. Everything she said she could do, it was laughable. That's why people didn't. That's why she lost the election. Because, a lot of people, MAGA, he's for Trump. Yeah, she's a Trumpster, But most of Trump's picks all lost. Most of them. There's only a couple that actually won, picked up a seat. But then, on the other hand, Georgia got its seat back. And a couple other places did too. So, the Democrats did good in the Senate. They're actually ahead in the Senate. Problem is, they were ahead in the House too last time around. This time, they're a little less. Not by much. I'm not sure. I can't remember how many seats. I'm not sure what the final tally was on that, but I have to look into it. The deserts are deserts are dry. Well, take a look at Salt Lake, actual Salt Lake in Salt Lake City. Freaking thing's dry. Come to think about it, the lake is actually only 12 feet deep total. But it had a large body of water, but it was surrounded by acreage, a lot of it. But the actual lake, like I said, that's the reason why it went dry, because of the salt. And because the salt helps water dry up quicker. And also, it's not really usable because salt and, using salt water is just not feasible unless you have desalination plants to take the salt out of the water so it's usable to drink, Otherwise, you got nothing, you got zilch. Adios amiga, or amigo. Adios amigos and amigas. Yeah, so anyway, let's close it out, guys. You guys got to go to sleep as much as I do. So anyway, I appreciate all you guys for coming in. It's been a pretty good stream, man. It's better than I thought it was going to be, comparably to the first one I did. So, but anyway, there'll be more. We got to figure out a way. I got to figure out a way I can make another channel and get somebody that I can get to do edits for me. Maybe Vegas D-Tech can. Maybe I can get him to do my edits for me. I'm going to talk to him about it. See what he would be great. He does a great job on his channel. So I have no doubt. Yeah, maybe we could team up. Maybe I'll have him come pick me up here and pick me up from wherever I'm at, and then we could take a ride to that desalination plant, and we could both do a report. Both of us together. Caring citizens. Yeah. Mike Withers. Davey is all. No, I'm not about the money. I don't bring any money for this channel. Maybe I could. Maybe you got to have at least 1,000 subscribers minimum, and then what else you need? Then you need 1,000 subscribers. That's first note, and then and I'm trying to think what else you need. Yeah, then the views. You got to have a lot of thumbs up. The thumbs up make a big difference in how many views you're getting each hit for each video. Now, you're going to do well when you do water reports. You're going to do good because that's a big concern now in the West. So there could be some money there, maybe. But it depends on how fast I can get 1,000 subscribers in there. Maybe Vegas D-Tech could get me there. I don't know. We'll have to see. Hazel's Reptiles. What's going on? I haven't seen Hazel in here in freaking ever, man. I'm still trying to build this channel, man. This channel's, it's kind of like a limp dick, This it's crazy, but it's the best way to put it, really. But yeah, I love reptiles. I mean, I like watching the videos. I wouldn't own a snake if my life depended on it, but I could see, because I once had a friend called Tim. Tim, his channel's called My Life, but he used to own a python, a ball python, and we used to feed the snake. I actually did a video with that snake eating that rat, and I'll tell you what, that snake would get the rat before it could even hit the bottom of the aquarium. He had 2 aquariums. He had a feeding aquarium, and he had the main aquarium. Problem is, you have to have 2 because the snakes can smell, and if you're holding the wild rat in your hand, and let's say you don't have the rat in your hand, but you held it like 2 hours ago, that snake is going to smell that. You go to reach into the cage, that snake's going to freaking hammer you big time. I like watching Chandler's Wildlife and Tyler Nolan. Yeah, and Clint's Reptiles, Steve Stone's channel too. Those are the channels. Do you have Hazel? Do you do snake videos? Do you actually do videos with your snakes? I never did ask you that question. As much as I can try to remember. Yeah, good to see you too, man. Good to see. We need to get some more people. We gotta get more traffic in here somehow. I'm not good at computers. I'm just not skilled with editing. I did do somewhat good when I first started. I was able to do some stuff, but never that great. I was never really good at it. Never claimed to be. Wish I could, but it'd be easier to pay somebody to do it than have me do it, Yes, I do. I haven't in a while, though. I had you subscribed, and I think it went off. I don't know what happened, but I got to make sure I got you subscribed for sure. I gotta subscribe to your channel. In other words, because somehow it got lost. I don't know what happened. I pick up channels, I lose them, and I can't keep track of all the channels. Let's see, my moat piece snake videos, my snake biting my hand because I was holding the rat. And though they smell good, man. I mean, no, I mean, those snakes could smell really well, you know. That's one thing I noticed. I noticed that with Tim Snake because, you know, that's exactly why he got two tanks, a feeding tank and then its regular tank that it stayed in, you know. It's regular, you know, living quarters. And then he'd take the snake out to put it in the feeding because the snake got to know that. It knew the ropes. The snake wasn't stupid, you know. He put the snake in the feeding, and then the snake knew what was going to happen. The snake knows I'm getting fed. It knew that. So then I'd have to hold the rat up in the air. Otherwise, that freaking snake is going to freaking come after my freaking hand. Or you don't want to get bit by a ball python. Believe me, you know that. You know I've been bit by 2 rattlesnakes, so I know what it's like to be bit by a snake. That's one thing I know. And I don't want to go through that again ever if I can help it. But living in Arizona, your chances are very great that you're going to get bit by a rattlesnake at some point in time. Especially when you live in their habitat. Such as my mom's house was in North Scottsdale, 1978 or 77. I can't remember what year it was that she had her house built out there. But anyway, you know, 2 rattlesnakes were always in the backyard, always in the front yard. We had an aquarium, and we had what they call ground cover. It's called bark. We put bark down to kind of for ground cover, you know. And those rattlesnakes would go in there and burrow into that, and just to try to keep warm. They're not stupid animals, man. They tried to get in the garage. Oh, they got in the garage. They got freaking every step I took on that property. I had to watch myself because, man, I was hearing rattlesnakes all the time. Man, they loved that yard. And they loved me, too, because they bit me twice. Once inside the house and once in the backyard. I got bit when I pulled the chair out on my mom's back patio in the backyard. Freaking rattlesnake right there. Freaking sitting right next, my ankles right next to the freaking snake. What do you think's going to happen? My mom's sitting there across about 15 feet from me, and she's like, "Looks like we're making another trip to the hospital." I said, "Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it?" "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, what do you think I'm going to do? I could either sit here and let that snake bite me, or I could get up and not get bit, or get bit trying to get up and leave." And she goes, "Well, what are you going to do?" I said, "Well, I'm going to get up and try to get out from it because I know damn well I'm a threat to him because I'm sitting right like 3 inches from it, and its head's right next to my ankle. I can't believe that thing didn't. Maybe it did strike at me and missed, but then it struck again, and it guess what? I wasn't so lucky. When I got off the chair, I got about 10 feet out. That snake came 10 feet from me and actually moved in my direction and actually came after me. It's hard to believe rattlesnakes don't do that. Well, this one did. It was a diamondback, I'll tell you. Well, I got bit by 2 diamondbacks, so yeah, I know that seemed to be the kind of snake that you find most of the time, at least in North Scottsdale. I don't think I've seen at least a dozen rattlesnakes, and they're all diamondbacks. Though Arizona's got the most species rattlesnakes in the country, if not the world, because rattlesnakes aren't all around the world. They're only basically in the Southwest desert. So Phoenix, Scottsdale, Arizona was a hotbed for rattlesnakes, big time. And we certainly lived right in their backyard. We didn't have any houses around us except for the custom homes that were all built around there, and that was it. And then around the custom homes, it was just all open, wild desert, you know. So yeah, so our neighborhood was a big habitat for those things because they needed water. We had swimming pools. They go in the backyard. They drink that freaking pool water. I don't know how many rattlesnakes I pulled out of the skimmer basket. at least 12, that fell in there and drowned because they couldn't get out of it, They couldn't swim out. Skimmer basket caught them, and they drowned, and that was it. But, yeah, scorpions, oh, my God. Sure could I could collect so many scorpions, it wasn't even funny. I got stung. I've been stung 20 times at least by those damn things. But I hated I still do hate them. Matter of fact, I found a dead one in here. It's because I sprayed. I sprayed in here. I heavily sprayed this thing in the heat. But I think when I sprayed, I think I think there was a scorpion that came out of the cabinet, and it died from the bug spray that I sprayed. I bought some really good stuff, and this stuff kills everything. Everything and everything. It's not really good for me, but I don't care. I just want to keep those freaking bugs out of here. So I got to make sure I spray at least once a month. I spray around the perimeter inside here, and I get everything, empty the cabinets out, and I went ahead and sprayed in there, and put the vacuum cleaner in there, and sucked everything out of the cupboards and stuff. It was a lot of work, especially with my condition. But I did it. I had to do it. When I pulled his teeth out of my skin, it sounded like pulling Velcro. Oh, no. Oh, no. He wrapped his whole body up my arm. What the hell is that? Shit. Freaking. Like dust, something dust particle. Let's see. Cherry Pop-Tarts, where have you been? I haven't seen Cherry Pop-Tarts in there in a while. Some gal came in there and said, why haven't you been, why aren't you married? Why haven't you been married? And I said, what for? I mean, back when I was 32, yeah, I would have done it, but not now. Not at the age of 60. Don't get married at 60. I guess only dumb people get married at 60, right? Well, maybe smart ones do. Maybe you learned from mistakes that you made in your early life. I don't know. Let's see. That's what's scary about snakes, man. I don't know how Chandler Wildlife does their videos, and I don't know how they're good. I mean, they're handling every dangerous snake on the planet, King cobras, all kinds of different cobras, spitting cobras. See what else? What other kind of stuff? I mean, every alligators, Cuban crocs. I mean, everything. I mean, Chandler's, he acts so nutty on his videos that you tend to think he's not serious, but no, he knows what he's doing. So I think, I mean, man, he got bit by that crocodile, or that Cuban croc bit him, got him in the leg, But he'd been drinking that day. See, don't mix alcohol with he did with the alligators and the crocs, because he got gutsy. I could have a couple beers, but you don't drink a couple beers. You can't seriously have a good time drinking, and you're handling those snakes. Not especially when they're king cobras and puff adders, and that's one snake the snakes you don't want to get bit by any snake. But puff adders, a snake you don't want to get bit by, because your skin will rot from inside out when you get bit by one of those. And it'll feel like you've been, somebody poured boiling oil on your, on whatever, and you certainly don't want that. And, you just don't want to get bit by any snake if you can help it, Let's see, snakes don't scare me. You get used to them biting. Yeah, I just don't want, I don't want to get used to getting bit by a rattlesnake either, like I did. I got bit twice, that was enough for me. 2 rattlesnake bites. How many people get bit ever in their life by a rattlesnake? You do in Arizona. You do in the Phoenix area, the Phoenix area, but not, not otherwise, You just don't. You could hear them, for one. I remember one time we went down the Salt River in the Phoenix area, and we had our stereo craft, and we were walking it up the path to get back to the vehicle, and it was dark out. And as we're walking, we must almost stepped on a rattlesnake, because that damn thing was rattling, and there was like 5 of us, right? And we're all looking at each other, and I say, the first thing, do not move. I said, one thing you don't want to do is move, because if you move, you're going to get bit. And when one of us gets bit, then we're going to end up in the hospital. And believe me, you don't want to go through that. I've already been through it. So I thought, okay, the best gamble was to just sit still, because we already had the craft. We put the craft down, so it must have been. It was right on top of us too. And then we seen the thing cruise off, because my friend turned his lights on, and so yeah, it gets scattered. But see, we stayed still, didn't move, and the rattlesnake did its thing. He knew he was not in harm's way, and he just moved on. So, but if that rattlesnake feels threatened, yeah, it's gonna strike you every single time. Yeah, I know that for a fact, but never, I will never have one for a pet. That's for sure. I've seen people that do, especially Chandler. Chandler's got 2 or 3 of them, I think. So let's see. Don't mess with you don't want to mess. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you're right. You don't want to mess with venomous snakes. No, not even a rattlesnake. You don't want to get bit. I'll tell you, one rattlesnake you don't want to get bit by is a Mojave green. You don't want. It's got neurotoxins on top of regular venom that it has. It carries 2 different types of venom, all in one, mixed together with the green Mojaves. That's what makes that snake so dangerous. That snake can kill you. You'll die from that. It cuts off your respiratory system. Yeah, you got time. I'm not sure how much time you got, but it depends on where it bites you, first of all. Yeah, if a green Mojave bites you and it gets you in the right vein, yeah, it'll kill you. It'll kill you quick. Yeah, you don't have time when a snake. Most of the time when any kind of rattlesnake bites you, it's usually going to be in the hand, or it's going to be in the foot or the leg. My case, it was on both. One time was in my hand, my finger, and actually I was bit 3 times. I forgot about the snake in the Superstition Mountains. That the black, there was a black rattlesnake. It was black, and it was on a black rock, blended in. Right. I mean, I couldn't see it. I stepped right over it, and when I stepped over it, it lunged and struck at me and missed. But then I didn't know what was, I just see something go real quick, and I'm like, what the hell was that? And I was frozen there, and I was froze up, and the thing came back the second time and got me in the finger. The freaking fangs caught my finger, caught this middle index finger on the right hand, and it was caught, and the fangs, and somehow I didn't get any venom in me. Either that, or I used my really good sharp knife that I used to backpack, and so anyways, I cut my finger open and sucked. I just went ahead and took a gamble, because I was 30 miles into that trail. There's no way I was ever going to get to a hospital. No cell phones during those periods of time, and I knew I was screwed. So I just sat down, relaxed, didn't try to move or build up my adrenaline. I kept my adrenaline stable, and I cut my finger, and I sucked it, and I spit it out. I sucked and spit, and then I sat down and waited, just to see if I was going to get any reaction. I didn't. So So I knew from the first bites, the two first bites, the third one, I knew it didn't get any venom in me. Either I got it all out or it dry bit me. And a lot of times, which I doubt, it dry bit me there because, I was definitely in its danger path because I almost stepped on it, for God's sake. Probably should have stepped on its head. But instead, I took the snake. I had the snake in my hand, my right hand, and I freaking threw it. Threw it about, 10 feet. But at least it was away from me, But man, I'll tell you. Let's see, can I see the scar? You can actually still see the teeth marks on my finger. From that time, because I cut my finger with a knife, and I couldn't show you on the phone because it's not going to show up. It's such a fine little mark that you can't see it now. I mean, that happened it happened in my 20s, I think how old was I then? 20, 23, 24, something like that. So, yeah, I don't think it's been a while since I even tried to look to still see if I got the scar there. I know I got the knife cut scar. I know I got that. That's for sure. But I don't know if you could still see the two fang marks, from the fang. The fang, the rattlesnake fangs, the split apart was like only about an inch. I'm not even going to say an inch. I'm going to say like 3/4 of an inch was the rattlesnake spread between the one fang to the other. Because they're like hypodermic needles, basically. I didn't even hardly feel the bites when I got bit the 2 times. I didn't even feel them at all. And I had that one strike me at least. I don't know. He struck me a lot. I couldn't tell you how many times he struck me, but I know I needed 75 vials of antivenom for sure on the one. On the other one, I was like 40 something vials on the other snake bite, but one was less than the other, quite a bit less. The time I was inside the house, that snake got me good because it bit me multiple times. Because I sat, I opened up the refrigerator door and the damn thing was right on top of me. You're on top of the snake, man. Shoot. Then I climbed up on the kitchen countertop. It was still trying to climb the kitchen countertop, trying to get me. Like, son of a bitch. And they say rattlesnakes don't come after you. Bullshit, they don't. I'm living proof it did it. 2 types of the same rattlesnake chased me 2 different times. And so that I do know. You could put that on a lie detector and put that on a cracker. But anyway, let's see. But yeah, I if I could blow it up with another camera or whatever, get a really close up. I do have a pretty good camera. But I can't take a. Well, maybe I could. It'd be kind of difficult to do. I couldn't really see what I'm doing with trying to hold the camera with the right hand or the left. Trying to take a picture with the bite that was on the, it was right, let me see here. Hold on a second here. Let me see if I could, maybe you could see. I doubt it. I don't think I can get, it's just too blurry. It's on this side, I think. If I could, God, I can't see it. I probably could see it today, but I can't see it right now. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't looked in a long time. I'll have to see what I can see, But yeah, it's good to, come back again, Hazel. I'll check. I'll make sure I get resubscribed to you. Somehow it's unsubscribed because I don't get notifications from you. So I'll make sure I get subscribed. I got so many people. It's hard to, how do you get them all, if I could remember, I almost have to, I don't know, I'll have to look in my subscriber directory and, make sure I got, go through each one, but it's going to take a couple days to go through. I mean, I got 1,200 people on this channel subscribed to me, so anyway, that's the scoop here. So, I'm glad I came in here. I'm glad I came in here late then, I'll just trying to get a hold of that one gal, and she's like, "Well, come into my chat." And I go, well, "How can I get in there? I didn't pay for it, you know. Unless I can't even upload my picture there. They're asking for my picture." I said, "Go under DMS 1962-65. You want to see what I look like? Go there, you know. Go on my YouTube channel. Go look. You want to see? Go look there, or go watch my live video of me playing guitar and over at Lake Mead. Actually, I played acoustic guitar at Lake Mead, and I put that on YouTube video. So, but that's under 1962-65. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's the scoop on that one. But long story short. Yeah, a short story long, I should say, in my case. Yeah, but anyway, I'm glad I came in here. I gotta get more people. You know, somehow I gotta come up with something other than doing these live streams that I could do, so I could build a broader range of people in here. And I think the water situation could be the very thing. I got to get a hold of the guy that does Vegas D-Tech and see if I can hook up with his channel somehow. See if we can come up with another channel name. Maybe, or better yet, he could do edits for me. Help me do an intro, outro, for the water reports, and then he could just show me, where I pick up the outflows, the intake, or the inflows and the outflows, and go from there. And then simply sit on a chair and do the reports every day. Well, maybe not every day, but I would say like probably twice a week. But just to see how. I don't know. Todd don't come in here anymore. He got mad at me because he bought a speaker cabinet from me, and he didn't pay me for it, and I'm not rich. I don't have a lot of money coming in other than my disability, and that ain't much. And I just say, hey, if you could at least make an effort, pay me something, pay me $20 a month, or pay me $20 a month till you pay it off. I'm sure you could afford that, right? You could just get that from your parents. His parents have money. He could borrow the money from them, and then that way he wouldn't owe any money to me. He could just owe the money to his parents, and then his parents could just write it off. It's what they could do for him. But he got mad. So he's mad at me. So he don't come in. He stopped coming in. He stopped talking to me too. Yeah. So yeah, I still got a lot of my stuff over there, so I still want my stuff. I just don't have the means to. I don't want to go over his house right now because I'm like 65 miles from him, and it wouldn't make sense to go 65 miles up to him and then go back down another 40 or 50 miles and then cut across and go west. It doesn't make sense. That'd be a hell of a cost in gas. So it'd be best that I get that. I'll pick out another time, another place, and we'll figure it out somehow. But as for now, yeah, Todd lives with his parents. Yeah, he doesn't have to. He can't. I guess he can't work because of his diabetic condition. I got diabetic condition too, and I had to work with it. But I guess his condition is he gets low blood sugar. And being that, it could easily, threaten his life. Me, I'm on the other side of the coin. I'm way too high on mine. And then he dips below. He goes, that's just what his body does. His body does something different completely than what mine does. So each and every person for themselves, when it comes to, being diabetic. Too bad they don't have a cure for it, Damn. I got crap in my throat. But anyway, so that's a scoop with Todd. And So I'm just trying to iron it out. So, I don't want the guy mad at me. Now I had to pay. I owe a guy $100 on, because what he should do is like try to figure out how we could do this. So I owe this other guy money, and I can't get him paid till I get out of here and get to a bank. So I'm kind of stuck. Nah, that's not too bad. A dry throat more than anything. Talking a lot. Yeah, it's the weather. I'm getting cold in here. So got a kind of a cough, kind of a cold cough. Not bad. It's not too bad. But anyway, yeah, cherry pop tart. I gotta have you come. Yeah, keep coming back in here. I haven't seen you in a bit. But then again, how would you know I'm coming on? It's kind of hard. I don't have anything to notify. A notification type thing set up where notifies people, hey, I'm going to be on, and I'm coming on in a week or whatever or something like that. I don't have that type of setup. So, but as long as my notification and tells you, then then you see late, and you see somebody on live late, and you're like, well, God, who else would be on here late at night besides me? Not too many people, really. So, but anyway, okay, guys, I gotta close it out. I'm gonna close it out. I hate to close it out, but I gotta get to sleep. I gotta wake up in the morning, so. I don't like to sleep. I don't like to wake up. I don't like waking up at 12 noon, So, anyway, I appreciate all you guys coming in here, for sure. And, come back. Y'all come back soon again, right? What's that? How's that saying go? From the Beverly, y'all come back soon now. That used to be at the very ending of an old show called the Beverly Hillbillies. I don't know if you could even remember that. Some of you guys are so young. You guys weren't even born yet when some of these shows were on. I feel bad. Here I am, 60-year-old man. So, but you know how it goes, man. How it is. Yeah, I did a test on me from the blood. One of the blood tests that came. They said my body wasn't producing testosterone, so that's a problem. And then turns out, a man gets a percentage of estrogen. What's called estrogen? How do you say it? I don't even know. Estrogen or whatever. But anyway, women get that. I mean, women definitely get it, a lot of it. But men get just a tiny percentage. Certain percentage of it only for certain. I don't know what the reason is, but anyway, my body, when your body stops producing testosterone, which what mine did, I get more percentage of estrogen in my body, and that's what the doctors came up with. And so, anyways, they told me, because I said, hey, why do I have this? And they go, that's because you have more estrogen than you do testosterone. So we need to reverse that. I go, yeah, because I got man boobs. How do I get rid of them? They go, you don't get rid of them. You keep them because you've got less testosterone than you do estrogen. So I'm like, well, that's what the blood test came back with. And I'm like, well, now I know why a lot of this is this way and this is that way, Not only this problem, but the other problem too. I got some other issues with it, that come with it too. So, but anyway, the guy goes, well, you could go and have surgery, and otherwise your body keeps it forever. I'm like, well, that's nice. Why does a man get boobs? That's what I told my doctor. I mean, because I had to take my shirt off. He goes, hey, you got boobs, man. I go, no, I don't. These are called, I don't know what these things are, but they're not boobs, okay? He goes, well, that's what they look like to me. He goes, well, we're going to do a blood test on you anyway. So they did the blood test, and that gave me my answers. He goes, well, that's the reason. You go, this is the reason why women get boobs, because they got estrogen, because that's what does what it does. I said, well, this sucks. I mean, he goes, well, even if you lose the weight, you're still going to have it. It's not going to make any difference. So, whatever. So, I don't worry about it. Not a big concern to me. It is due to the fact I don't have enough testosterone. I'm not getting any. He said I only had like maybe 5% testosterone or whatever, and it wasn't near the amount. I need to be a lot more than that. So anyway, I got to look into that. What we got to do to fix that problem, but I'm not exactly sure how we're gonna fix that problem. But we're gonna fix it, and because I want my other parts working, on my body. So otherwise, that's why my parts aren't working correctly, and so the doctor told me. So anyway, so I was like, well, now I know. Okay, so you get one thing and then you lose another. It just seems like that's the way life is too. Either you make $10 or you didn't really make $10, you only made $3, something like that. But anyway, so I'm gonna get out of here. But yeah, please come back, Cherry Pop-Tarts. Please come back. Y'all come back now, and take it from there. So, okay, guys, we're gonna close it. I appreciate it again and again. So we are going to sign out. Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it again. Bye.